I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Keep the PlayStations! Let's go to Target! Oh, crap. Okay. What up? Hola, hola, hola. ¿Cómo está usted? Let's share this out on the Discord. It's 6 o'clock. You know what's happening right now? I'm not going to tell you. Because then the one person who's watching is going to leave and they're going to go over there. No, I'm kidding. I'll tell you. There's the John Doyle debate and Destiny debate is happening right now. But I got a show to do. So we're going to do the show. And then in the after party, we're going to, hold on one second. In the after party, we're going to react to that debate. But we'll talk about it tonight, in case people don't know who John Doyle is. We're going to make sure they know. Since we've covered all of his debates from Uncensored America on the channel, and most of his content whenever he makes a new video. John Doyle is my boy. I think he's the smartest, best conservative commentator out there. I can't think of anybody I like more than John. The only problem is he's not super consistent with his videos. That's because every video he makes is a dang dissertation. And so he puts a lot of time and effort into them. Not a whole lot of big news this week. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about Hurricane Helene. We're going to, just like I said, when we did the live stream where we were covering when it was making landfall, we're going to look at the damages from it. The destruction, the damages, monetary and physical, loss of life. Way higher death toll than what I expected. Just due sheerly to how far north it went. Those states aren't used to that. Like Florida, that's what I was saying, is Florida is used to it. Floridians, I'll show you some videos. When there's a hurricane in Florida, it means break out the skimboards, break out the surfboards. Power's out. Let's go have some fun in the rain. But these other states, when they get hit by hurricanes, they're not ready for it. Also have well, we'll talk about it shortly. I have an interesting observation that I made. What's up, Be Wise? Did I close the Discord? Yeah, I did. Hold up one second. Get this off of here. Then we'll talk about Eric Adams' indictment, how Trump predicted it. I knew it was going to happen. I called it. I called it. Trump called it. Eric Adams indicted. Pretty much probably just because he kind of went against the Dems. What up, Yoda? Hurricane party. Yeah, hurricane parties in Florida. Um, 1 second. And then I will give you a little debate preview, fill you in on who John Doyle is. We already know who Destiny is, so we don't need to talk about that. And we'll get prepped for the after party where we will review the debate. Then we got memes, reels, rapid fire, just like every week. Not a whole lot of rapid fire news this week. The last segment, I was listening to another channel, and this guy was kind of making fun of people who believe in Tartaria and Agartha. And, that's one of my favorite things to talk about. And a lot of people can't tell when somebody's just having fun with something or when somebody actually seriously believes in something. Just so you know, if I say that dragons and giants and demons are defending Sheol and they live in Agartha, I'm being a little facetious. Facetious. I can't say that word. If you can't pick up on that, I don't know. Something might be wrong with you. It's like when people say Australia is not real. We know Australia is real. It's a joke. But it's also a conspiracy theory that ties in with a lot of other conspiracy theories, and it's kind of fun, and it's biblically supported, and I can scientifically, biblically, epistemically, and historically back it up. And so really, maybe I do believe it. I don't know. But guess what? I know just as much as the scientists know because they don't really know either. So if you believe the scientists, that's your faith. You don't know. We know the earth is round, but we don't know for sure how gravity works. We don't know for sure how big the universe is. We don't know for sure what's in the center of the earth. So turns out that they found an underground ocean with 3 times the water of every ocean on the earth combined, between 400 and 700 miles deep. 400 and 700 miles deep, which is pretty crazy considering the deepest we've ever dug is 8 or 9 miles deep. So we'll talk about the underground ocean, the mysterious underground ocean, and how that helps justify ideas of Tartaria and Agartha. And I'll give you some biblical facts. And I'll explain the confusion that it's not like freaking King Kong versus Godzilla where there's a giant mystical world down there, like magical creatures and stuff flying around. That's not what it's like. Okay? We'll explain it for the naysayers who don't know how to have any fun, apparently. Admiral Byrd found that underground civilization. I know all. Yeah, I know. We've talked. Mainly, we're going to focus on the underground ocean, but I will give a little bit more explanation for people who haven't looked into anything and they like to just laugh things off and brush it off. When was this? When did they find the underground ocean? Like 10 years ago, but it's just now popping up on people's feeds because TikTokers found out about it. And so TikTokers have been making videos about it. So a lot of news stories have been coming out about it, but it's really, we've known about this for like 10 or 20 years. But facetious John versus Destiny. Yeah, John versus Destiny, Uncensored America. They do it every fall around this time. And so I'll give you a little review of some of his past Uncensored America debate. And it's a very formal, very organized, very structured debate with a live audience. I think Modern Day Debate is hosting it, but we're going to watch it straight from Uncensored America. Hey, Jazz, don't talk about lizard people in their home. I know. If people don't know about the tunnel systems, they hear about tunnels and they're like shocked that certain people and it's not just the small hat people, lots of cultures and lots of civilizations, lots of metholithic dig sites have found tunnel systems underneath because when the flood was coming, there's two ways you get out of it. If you don't have a dang ark, you either got to build something real tall, like a pyramid, or you got to tunnel underground. And there are tunnel networks. So I have to explain to people it's not freaking King Kong versus Godzilla where you go through the crust and the gravity changes and all of a sudden there's this magical world under there. No. But think of the earth as a sponge. And sponges have little holes. And if you were an ant, if you could zoom in on a sponge, if you could get small, you'd see that a sponge is like a network. And if you've ever seen lava rock or pumice, then you would know that lava rock floats. Why does it float? Because it's porous. It's filled with holes and tunnel networks all through it. And the earth, the upper mantle and the lower mantle, are not liquid hot molten magma, but they're different degrees of hardness of lava rock, of pumice, which is like tunnels. It's like a tunnels network all through the earth. And so I can support my claims historically, biblically, which is epistemically, historically, when we talk about, these metholithic dig sites and things like that, and scientifically. So, I'm not crazy. I've just done more research into things that most people would laugh off. James from Modern Debate was okay. Oh, he's got a big old Subway tattoo on his back. So he could get free subs for life. Would you do that? I don't think I would. Would you get a giant tattoo of Subway on your back? Modern Day Debate is not the ones hosting this debate. It's Uncensored America. But I think that they're going to show it on Modern Day Debate. But they'll also be showing it on Uncensored America's YouTube. Let's get into this hurricane stuff. I got a lot of stuff from Hurricane. I got a ton of articles this week, but we're probably not going to read all of them. We're just going to kind of burn through them. I thought this was interesting. This little map from the New York Times or USA Today, sorry. So this is the path of destruction. This yellow line tracks the eye. And where's my... So, but it's cool as you zoom in on it. Oh, it's not working now. It's not working. No, this is not what I'm talking about. Where's the... Here it is. Oh, they're not going to let me do it? Yeah, I thought they might not let me do it. Anyway, New York Times, if you go to destruction mapping the destruction, and you click on the New York Times one, they're not going to let me do it because I have to pay them. It's weird. The first time when I go to the site, it'll let me look at it, but then when I try to pull it up on the stream, they won't let me. But anyway, you can like zoom in and it takes you on like a map, on like as you scroll, it goes up through the path and it shows you pictures in each area. It's pretty cool. You guys might want to check that out. But Hurricane Helene, Category 4 hurricane when it hit landfall. So far, more than 100 deaths have been attributed to Hurricane Helene. Last time I checked, when I put this together yesterday, it was only at 93. Now we've reached over 100. That number is going to keep going up. Let's see. Hurricane Helene, which left massive destruction along the Florida coast since making landfall Thursday, is now causing historic flooding, wide-ranging power outages, and other damage in an 800-mile northward pass that's affecting the Carolinas, Tennessee, Georgia, and other states. Specifically, North Carolina is really got some problems, and that's where my aunt lives, up in the mountain. Remember, if you were watching the stream when we were talking about where we were tracking it, um, my cousin Brian does tree work, and I said, well, he's going to have a lot of tree work now. Well, he does, and he's also kind of joined like a volunteer crew to help people out, and they're cleaning trees, they're trying to get power back on, and they're going and helping people that are stranded in flood zones. It's very mountainous up there, and so like water will pool at the in the valleys and stuff, and it's North Carolina. They're not built for hurricanes like Florida is. And so they've had a lot of death in North Carolina, a lot of people stranded, a lot of people without food, without power, stuck in these flooded areas, people stuck on the roofs of their house. I read one story about a family that was stuck on a roof, and this lady went on Facebook to try to get help for them, and it didn't work. I mean, but I guess if all the resources are taken up, that's the only option I guess she saw is to go on Facebook and try to say, hey, we need to get help, and it didn't happen. And I think like 2 people died there. I think my aunt is stranded. She lives in like a cottage in the mountains, and I think she's like stranded up there. Um, yeah, a lot of tornadoes spun off of the what are they called? The branches, the legs. That's not what they're called. The rays. No, I can't remember, but a lot of tornadoes came off of it. Um, in North Carolina, high water from excessive rainfall has inundated Asheville. That's where my aunt lives, and my cousin and my niece, my grandma and grandpa had a cabin out there. They both passed away over the past. Well, my grandma died like 10 years ago, but my grandpa just died this past year. Um, and other cities trapping residents in their homes without lights and food. Flooded roads are making it difficult for rescue workers to reach them, USA Today reported. Uh, I hate to say it, but just an observation. I hate to. Maybe I shouldn't even say this. Should I say it? If you want to look into Revelation about storms as people get more, Asheville's gotten really super liberal, and anyway, you kind of get where I'm going. Asheville's been getting a little degenerate, and it's odd that this is a strange weather pattern. You could blame it on climate change, hurricane and hurricane season down Hurricane Alley. Climate change. Yeah, days of no. You get where I'm going. You get where I'm going. I don't have to say it. We all know what I'm saying. Um, yeah. Prayers for Jazz family safety. I think they're all right. It happens, man. It's always bad. Yeah, but usually they usually don't reach up to North Carolina. That's unusual. Um, could be Bill Gates playing with the weather machine. Could be climate change. Probably not. Could be the finger of God bringing destruction. Or it could be God don't have nothing to do with that because Satan has dominion over the earth. Unless you're a preterist and you believe that Jesus has already come back and the devil's already been defeated. The devil was defeated in Sheol. Sheol. There's a we'll get a call back to that later in the show. When Christ went down to Sheol, and he defeated the devil already. But anyway, the point is, crazy hurricane. Crazy hurricane. Could be too many things in the devil's playground. Right. And That's what I'm saying. Like, I always talk about how North Carolina used to be based, and now it's like getting a little Sodom and Gomorrah ish. Yeah, over there in North Carolina. And then a strange hurricane comes. Um, With devastating winds and catastrophic storm surge, Hurricane Helene blew into Florida over the southeast and deposited several inches of rain, causing major flash flooding and record-breaking river flooding in the Carolinas and Tennessee. Record-breaking. Here's a little big old hurricane. Never hit Category 5. That's good. Stayed at Category 4. See, here's Asheville. And see, it usually they'll break up, but this thing was still powerful. Look, it was all the way up in Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Missouri, but North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, there was a very strong eye wall. We'll see it right. It's fast. Boom, right there. That is a very strong eye wall that had a lot of tornadoes coming off of it. Florida, when it made landfall, it hit the Big Bend area. My brother lives on the coast in Tampa, and he's fine. Like, my mom, Joey, I called them like the next day, and they're like going to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. And my brother, I haven't talked to Ben. I haven't talked to him yet, but he lives like near the coast in Tampa, and he said the waters came up pretty high, but it didn't. It wasn't too big of a deal. And but see, here's Asheville. Asheville's taken a lot of damage. So let's see, Georgia. It got into Georgia early Friday morning as a Category 2, so it dropped all the way down to a Category 2 by the time it hit Georgia. Tennessee, the Nolichucky Dam in Greene County is at risk of breach. Tennessee Valley Authority says late Friday night after Nolichucky River, that's a cool river name, watercrest, the TVA announces the dam is stable and secure on Saturday afternoon. At least 45 people are rescued from the roof of a Unicoi County hospital about 120 miles northeast of Knoxville on Friday afternoon after the facility is surrounded by floodwaters from Helene. Florida on Saturday, aerial view of destroyed dock in Steinhatchee, Florida. I don't know if you guys want to see that. You can't really see the destruction in that picture. North Carolina, building, bridges in Chimney Rock, a village near the popular Chimney Rock State Park, are destroyed by flooding from the Broad River. The State Department of Transportation says more than 400 roads in North Carolina should be considered closed, and the I-40 and I-26 are impassable in multiple locations. Combination of weather pattern would likely soak the region. The flooding is always a problem. That's USA Today. From BBC, 30 killed in one county after hurricane swamps North Carolina. They're going to give me an ad on this. Nope, no ad. Nice. Let's check this out. This is one county in North Carolina, 30 people dead. Look at this. Damn. Lake Lure. That's the lake. Bro, there's so much debris you could walk across that lake. What up, Stubber One? Look at that. Roads. The whole road is down in the water. If this river is the river near Asheville, or this is Perry Vale, I don't know if that's the guy who recorded it. But if this river is the river near Asheville, I've swam in that river. I don't know if I've ever told the story where we used to go to the river at North Carolina near Asheville and swim in it. And one year, I got like carried down the river too far and the rapids picked up and I started freaking out and I swam over to the shore and I grabbed a branch and then I had to like walk through the woods to get up to the road and then take the road back to where my family was. Everybody was freaking out. They thought I was dead. We've whitewater rafted on this river twice. And one time we were whitewater rafting on this river, and there was what's normally a Category 4 rapid, but due to the water levels at that time, it was a Category 5. And so we get to this one part, and he says, "Okay, this is the craziest part of the river. I'm going to tell you guys." He said, "You see that big rock there? We're going to pass on the right side of that rock." And he said, "That is the most dangerous part of the river, because if we flip by that rock, the water will pin you up under the rock. And because of the erosion, the rock is hollowed out underneath, and it will pin people under that rock. And that's how you can drown. So we need to be very careful on this part." Well, guess what happened? As soon as we go over the first waterfall, right next to the rock, our boat flips over. And everybody flips out of the boat. And I came up on the side of the boat and grabbed onto the side of the boat. I was like probably 10, 11, 12 years old. I don't remember exactly how old I was. My dad, I see him pop up, grab the boat. Everybody else grabs the boat except my mom. And I start freaking out. I'm like, "Mom, Mom, where's Mom? Mom, Mom." And then I hear her yelling, and she's under the boat. And like her hand comes around and she comes out. I think she was under the boat, but I was freaking out. I thought my mom was trapped under that rock. Anyway, like, thanks for scaring us and then flipping the boat, right? Where you just said we would all die if we flipped the boat here. Anyway, river, fast flowing river, rapids, and it looks just like this. Like, I think I've swam in this river. Dude, this cold has lasted forever. It's like, I'm still stuffy. I'm not sore and achy anymore, but I'm still stuffy. Look at that. Wow. Wow, lots of damages. Edneyville. Bro, that looked like my cousin. Did he grow a mullet? So that's wild. I got a lot of videos here, but at least 30 people have died in one county alone in North Carolina, and scores more are unaccounted for in just one county after Hurricane Helene tore across the state, caused catastrophic flooding. Clear image of the storm inflicted after barreling through Florida and Georgia emerged throughout Sunday, with Buncombe County appearing to be the hardest hit area. We have biblical devastation. Biblical devastation, said Ryan Cole, an emergency official in the county, which contains the mountain city of Asheville. This is the most significant natural disaster that any one of us has ever seen. At least 116 people. That's the highest number I've seen so far from all the different sources I have here. People have died nationwide since the hurricane made landfall on Thursday. I said 5 or 10 people. I definitely way underestimated that count. 110. 1,000 people still unaccounted for. American Red Cross has opened more than 140 shelters. More than 2,000 people are currently using the shelter, the organization said on Sunday. Let's watch a couple more videos here.
Man who died after a
This is from 13 WMAZ.
tree fell on his home.
Megan Western spoke to neighbors who say he will forever be missed.
This home behind me on Claremont Drive may be one of the hardest hit in Lawrence County. It was crushed by 6 trees, claiming the life of Doug Brownlee. Friday morning, downed trees lined
R.I.P. Doug.
the street.
And you could hear trees popping and everything, but you couldn't see anything.
But by midday, people cleared a path for cars, and neighbors like Kay Donaldson started to check out the damage.
It's almost like right in this area, it was not just the hurricane, but a tornado went off too.
But the pile of trees isn't what struck
Yeah, generally that happens with hurricanes.
neighbors the hardest. It's the life they lost buried under the pile.
He was so nice.
Meredith Mitchell says he was so kind, he often shared items from his garden, also destroyed by Helene.
He just loved to spend time out there with his garden, with all vegetables and growing things.
She says he was caring, looking out for his widowed neighbors.
It's almost
So R.I.P. Doug. What else we got? We got CNN.
Scenes in Apalachicola, Florida, hours after Hurricane Helene made landfall as a Category 4 storm. Now he's just south of there in Keaton Beach. Garrix, what's the latest where you are?
Yeah, we are reporting live from this very tight-knit community here along the Big Bend of Florida's coastline. And what you're looking at behind me is what remains of Keaton Beach Bum's gasoline station that in just 3 days' time was about to celebrate its 5-year anniversary of being
Didn't celebrate a 5-year anniversary this year.
Open. Instead, it's left in ruins. There are bathtubs and roofs of homes from the homes that used to reside 500 yards over my right-hand shoulder. As we drove in the area, we got closer to the coastline. It became increasingly more difficult for us to traverse the roads. There were down power lines. There was a strong sense and smell of gasoline as we approached the region. That's because of a gas tank that toppled over in the surge. And Broward County is actually responding to that particular incident over my left shoulder here. So it shows you that interagency coordination of Broward County that's hours away from here.
Good hand motion.
As well. And I just want to show you the destruction that storm surge can bring, because this is so important. Let me take you to the sky. Not only did we take the brunt of 140 mile per hour Cat 4 winds, but the ocean that is over a quarter mile behind me pushed all of the water in from that shallow Gulf of Mexico, and it took all of this debris along with it as well. Storm surge is just so incredibly dangerous. And
yeah, that's what I always say. The flooding and the storm surge is worse than the hurricane and tornadoes, at least for Florida. Now, these more inland states, it's different because they're just not built for it. They're not prepared for a hurricane because they don't expect the hurricanes to make it that far inland.
You know, it's 15 feet of storm surge or more, and that is exactly what the National Hurricane Center had forecast. And I can confirm that that is indeed what happened, because we saw debris high in the trees that still stand within this area, indicating the tops of the water levels that impacted this particular region. Now, there are homes that used to stand here that have been completely leveled.
So, see, I guess the stilt house idea is pretty smart. I said it seems crazy, but, you know, they don't have any flood damage. You'd think that it would just blow them over, but
or brought forward or inland by a quarter mile. And those are homes with people's memories, people's belongings. Let me take you to one person who evacuated, listened to the evacuation orders, but this is what he had to say about coming back home.
Man, I just lost my house. I have nothing else to go. My house is laying here in a pile. It was sitting right over there. There's pillars up in the ground.
Okay, so he had a stilt house. It didn't work out for him.
I got a wife and 2 dogs here with me. What am I supposed to do? We wasn't expecting water. We expected some water, but not a daggum our house just disappeared.
I feel, well, I'm a sociopath, so I don't really feel anything, but I'm kidding. But I feel for these people. They lost their house and all that, but at the same time, it's like, you live in Florida. If you live in Florida, a quarter mile from an ocean, in the path Hurricane Alley, and hurricane season comes, you know, so sad. Yeah, it is sad, but all I'm saying is, you can't be surprised. It's like if you live in Kansas and a tornado takes your house, it's like, yeah, but you live in Kansas. I don't know. I'm still, it's horrible that happened to them. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of expected that something like that's going to happen every year. They flood, but they stand. And yeah, he's alive. Hopefully he had insurance, right? I'm sure he probably did. Producer, how was it for you? You live on a boat in Florida. Like, producer lives on a boat in Florida. If a hurricane comes and blows your boat away, that's horrible, but you better have insurance on that thing. And you better be expecting it. You know? It's going to happen every year. But producer's all right. That's good to see. And my whole family lives in Florida, and North Carolina. So I'm allowed to say this. They know. Well, not the ones in North Carolina. They were not expecting this. That's why I'm more kind of concerned. Oh, yeah, you're in Georgia? Oh, I thought. Why do I think you lost? Why did I think you lived in the Bay in Florida? We get tons of snow here every year, and every year people seem to forget. Right? It's like this happens regularly. You should know the area you live in. Please wait while we try to reconnect. Chat disconnected. Why did my chat disconnect? Okay, we're back. But yeah, that's wild. See, Helene flooding strands hundreds of North Carolina residents as storm death toll reaches 95. So this is from yesterday. The number, and when I checked this, it was 93. Now it says 95. We've seen 116 is the biggest number we've seen. My girlfriend lives in Florida. What's worrying is there's more hurricanes on the way. Yeah, we're getting towards the end of hurricane season. Are they as big as this one? We're on H. Ivan was big. J, there was like a junta. It was pretty big. We probably won't get very far past J. It snows every year. People slide off the road when the first snow hits. Yeah, it's like they forget. They forget what happens every year. It's wild. Let's see what AP is saying. Death toll rises from Helene while supplies are rushed to North Carolina and Florida digs out. Of course, the loss of life is the most important thing, but it would be interesting to see a monetary number on damages. But, we got to make sure we're sending all our money to Israel and Ukraine. But it will be interesting to see the monetary amount of damages done. Sure, it's going to be probably hundreds of billions. One sitting in the Gulf of Mexico right now, a hurricane. What's up, hippie shake? I don't know if I've ever seen you here, but welcome. Authorities struggle to get water and other supplies to isolated flood-stricken areas across the U.S. Southeast in the wake of Hurricane Helene as the death toll from the storm rose to nearly 100. Again, this is from yesterday. We're past 100 by now. It's still more than 2,000 missing in North Carolina alone. A North Carolina county that includes the mountain city of Asheville reported 30 people killed due to the storm and several other fatalities. Supplies are being airlifted to the regions. A lot of the same stuff. Buncombe County. We hear you. We need food and we need water, Pinder said on Sunday call with reporters. My staff has been making every request possible to the state for support, and we've been working with every single organization that has reached out. What I promise you is that we are very close. AP, we're not going to have a number on the monetary amount for a while. More than 2 million homeowners and other utility customers were still without power. I saw something like 800 counties were without power. We want people to remain calm. Help is on the way. It's just going to take time. Begging for help in North Carolina as that help is slow to arrive. Well, the roads are shut down. My cousin was saying on Facebook that they're trying to help people and they can't even travel on the roads to help people. In a follow-up message Saturday, Turner said help had not arrived in time to save her parents, both in their 70s, and her 6-year-old nephew. The roof collapsed and the 3 drowned. I think that was the lady that, yeah. Jessica Dyer Turner in Texas had begged for someone to rescue her family members stranded on their rooftop in Asheville amid flooding waters. They're watching 18-wheelers and cars floating by, she wrote in an urgent Facebook post on Friday, but in a follow-up message Saturday, she said help did not arrive in time to save her parents, who were both in their 70s, and her 6-year-old nephew. The roof collapsed and the 3 drowned. Damn. That sucks. That's like the old story about the people that the flood waters are rising and the boat comes and they say, or the truck comes and they say, no, God will send help. The waters go up a little more, and then the boat comes and they say, no, God will send help. And then the water rises a little more and they get on the roof and a helicopter comes and they say, no, God will send help. And then they die and they go to heaven and they say, God, why didn't you help us? We prayed and we prayed and we prayed and you never helped us. He said, what did you think the truck and the boat and the helicopter were? But in this case, these people didn't get the truck or the boat or the helicopter. So that sucks. Storm-battered Florida digs out. Residents gather for church. See, Florida, Sunday, they're like, well, time to go back to church. We're going back to church. We got to get to church. Make sure that these crazy revelation storms don't keep coming. Let's get to church. Based Florida. Couple more videos, and then we'll talk about Eric Adams for a little bit.
Across the South tonight, at least 40 people are dead in 4 states. Millions are without power. And
so this is PBS NewsHour, and this is has to be day after if they're only saying 40.
There have been before her as the latest.
Helene's fury unleashed on...
Producer, is that your house? Is that your house, producer? What up, Mr. Mad?
The Florida Gulf Coast.
Devil's got energy weapons? Yeah, well, the devil's got Bill Gates playing with his cloud machine.
Coast. Coming ashore last night just east of Tallahassee as a Category 4 hurricane, the storm brought sheets of blinding rain and whipping winds of 140 miles an hour. Storm surge threatened to wash cars off roads. Ocean swells grew so high that it carried these boats from the water and smashed them into...
Damn! What? Could you imagine you walk out your front door and there's just like the front yard of your house has been turned into a boat parking lot?
Homes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Flooded streets resembled rivers. Entire neighborhoods looked more like lakes. This man in Cedar Key tried to check on family.
I was trying to make it to my mama's house, but it's neck deep here.
Wow. Could you imagine that? You're freaking walking through your front hallway and it's...
I'm not able to get any further. Oh, man.
It prompted thousands of high water rescues from Florida up through the Carolinas. First responders out in boats to rescue people trapped in their homes. In South Pasadena, Florida, firefighters literally battled fires and floods. And in one daring rescue...
I would like to do this as a job, like rescue people in hurricanes and stuff, take the boat through the hurricane. Like, I would like to do that.
The Coast Guard airlifted a man and his dog from their stranded sailboat off the coast of Florida's Sanibel Island, with the storm bearing down. Still, Helene claimed lives in multiple states, from fallen trees, debris, and possible tornadoes. Many of them in Georgia, where Governor Brian Kemp said the threat was still very real.
It is still very dangerous out there. Even though the winds are starting to die down, there's still trees literally falling.
In the mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, up to 10 inches of rain sent floodwaters roaring past the Biltmore. And in Tennessee, dozens of people had to be airlifted from a hospital engulfed by the rising river. For more than 4 million people across the South tonight, they're left in the dark.
That's wild. This is Buncombe County, 35 now dead. This is the county that had the most deaths. Buncombe County in North Carolina. That's where the Biltmore is. It's a mansion. We took a tour of it when I was little. There's a skate park here in Asheville. And there's a big old hill, and I skated down it one time and I fell, busting my butt. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting nostalgic because I've been to Asheville a bunch.
Tonight, Helene no longer.
So that's that. You know, prayers for the people in those states. Hopefully, the ones that are still missing get found. You know, lots of damages. It's gonna be a while before we get a dollar amount on the amount of destruction, but big hurricane. It didn't hit category 5, but a lot of damage, a lot of destruction from that thing. All right, let's move on to the next little topic we have here. What time is it? We got 10 minutes till 7. Won't spend too much time on this. Not super interesting, not super surprising either. But Eric Adams was indicted this week. From Fox News, New York City Mayor Eric Adams arrives to turn himself in to face charges in federal corruption case. Federal judges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams were unsealed in a 5-count indictment on Thursday. Ron Crumey breaks down the charges brought against Mayor Eric Adams. We'll come back to that, but what's interesting is that Trump predicted it. He called it. Trump called it. ABC News fact-checking Trump saying, no, you didn't predict it. He did predict it. He called it. Trump claims he predicted Adams would be indicted because of his comments on migrants. And this is what I've said before, that we're not fans of Eric Adams, but he has said some base things. Like, he's probably pretty radical. Where's this interactive electoral map? Make my map. I'm going to need that for election day. Eric Adams, not as bad as Kathy Hochul or Katie Hochul, whatever her name was. Still a radical Democrat, New York Democrat, but he said some base things before, and he was tired of the immigration. Now, he helped cause his own immigration problem. We've talked about in New York how they're putting them up in the hotels and giving them all the cards and everything. And Eric Adams is like, whoa, we can't keep this up. It's costing too much money. Our crime is skyrocketing. And like crime in New York was already bad enough. And he spoke out against it, and they didn't like that. And Trump said, oh, you shouldn't have talked out against your handlers. They're going to get you, Eric. And it looks like Trump was right. Look at that. Former President Donald Trump on Thursday claimed that he predicted New York Mayor Eric Adams would be indicted because of his comments he made about an influx of migrants hurting the city. We have people that use the Justice Department and the FBI at levels that have never been seen before, he said, without evidence. There's evidence for that. There's evidence for all of that. I wish him luck, Trump said. Trump echoed a claim made by Adams earlier Thursday when spoke with reporters at a news conference. He called to blast Vice President Kamala Harris ahead of her trip to the southern border on Friday. Asked whether Adams could get a fair trial, Trump said, I don't know the mayor well, but he's been fairly generous to me in his statements for a while. I thought you had the worst mayor ever that we had prior to him. Yeah, the prior mayor was worse. Whether you're talking about Cuomo or you're talking about Hochul, I think she was an interim mayor because they ousted Cuomo. And then they have a gubernatorial election, and Hochul came in, and I don't know if he's talking about Cuomo or Hochul, but they were both bad. And then they got Adams, and still bad, but not as bad. Asked whether Adams could get a fair trial. I already read that. I said that he will be indicted because he did that. You take a look. That's what they do. These are dirty players. These are bad people. They cheat and they do anything necessary. These are bad people, he said. What the? Is it good? Is what good? Fake news. Fake news. You see how they saying camel toe is gaining on Trump in the polls? Yeah, even when Trump is up in the polls, I still don't care about polls. Polls are whack. Only on highway left going into Asheville. The other trees are out of commission. What is Mr. Mad playing? When are you finishing Silent Hill 2, bro? I can't miss that. When did he start Silent Hill 2? He started Silent Hill 2? You were playing Silent Hill last night? I missed it. Dang, how short is the game if you could beat it in one night? Apparently, Resident Evil 7 is only 7 hours, so I might just beat it tonight. Like in one night. Lots of casing snap. Cabanos is basically mini kielbasa. What are y'all talking about? Only poles I like is fishing poles. That's right. That's right. That's right. So Trump predicted it. Let's look at his charges. Eric Adams' charges.
Discover your new Hyundai.
This ad. I gotta let this ad play real quick. Let's listen to this.
Is really two cases, but they're related. One is the sexier part of the case. The
Sexier?
Flight upgrades.
Bro, this guy reminds me of that dude that just recently tried to shoot at Trump.
The hotel rooms, the gifts from Turkey. The problem with that is these are all small things. Okay, so he got to fly business class rather than economy. You can do that with points and airline miles. And the things that he did for the Turkish government, he expedited a building.
Isn't it funny when a guy like Eric Adams gets indicted, the media is just like, it's not a big deal. They're little charges. I mean, come on. He could have just used his airline points and flown that way. Come on. It's not a big deal. But when Trump gets indicted on a bunch of trumped up fake charges, it's like, he's going to burn in prison. He's going to prison with P. Diddy.
Being approved by the fire department. That happens every day in New York. The more serious
What up,
part of the
Stepfire?
indictment, however, is the funneling.
Right? Doesn't that guy remind you of the Roth guy?
Of Turkish government funds into an American election through straw donors.
Not a big deal.
Which enabled him to reap tremendous amounts of money for his election campaign back in 2020 and now.
Just brush it off.
New York's matching system. So that's a lot more serious. Had it just been airline tickets and free hotel rooms, I don't.
Yeah, so why are you even talking about the charges that don't matter? And then you kind of just brush past the fact that he's receiving Turkish money.
I don't think this case would have ever been brought. I will say, though, if I'm going to sell my soul to a foreign government like Turkey, I want a luxury villa on the Bosphorus. I want offshore accounts. I don't want comp meals. The meat in the case is the illegal campaign contribution.
Right, yeah. Well, but you keep bringing up the plane tickets and the free meals. But I bet you if Trump received some plane tickets and some free meals, you'd be all over it like white on rice and a glass of milk and a paper plate in a snowstorm. Wow. 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 Isn't it interesting the way they have double standards? Double standards. Not good. Okay. Let's read this CNN article. What are they saying? New York City Mayor Eric Adams pleads not guilty to federal corruption charges as New York's governor is considering removing him. New York City's embattled mayor pleaded not guilty Friday to federal corruption charges after prosecutors accused him of using his power and influence to garner free trips, luxury hotel stays, and questionable campaign donations. Mayor Eric Adams is charged with bribery, wire fraud, conspiracy, and 2 counts of soliciting campaign contributions from foreign nationals. He got a list. He got a list of charges. I am not guilty, Your Honor. I don't know how to do an Eric Adams voice. I don't even know what he sounds like. He probably sounds kind of feminine. Adams said in Lower Manhattan Federal Court Friday, Magistrate Judge Catherine Parker allowed Adams to be released after the hearing, but with caveats. The mayor cannot have contact with anyone involved in the allegations in the indictment. Aside from that, the mayor can still maintain routine business contacts and communicate with family members. The judge also allowed Adams to keep his passport. Adams' appearance in court as a defendant is a stark contrast from his work fighting crime as an NYPD captain, a job he often touted during his political career. The mayor, a Democrat elected in 2021, has denied wrongdoing and said he doesn't plan to resign. I look forward to defending myself and defending the people of this city as I've done throughout my entire professional career, Adams said Thursday. And Trump says that they're just going after him because he was going against the illegal immigration problem. This isn't even a real case, attorney says. Shortly after Friday's arraignment, some of his supporters outside the courthouse shouted, "Mayor, I love you." Adams gave a thumbs up and did not speak, but his attorney was outspoken about what he called a case without merit. There are no emails, text messages, or any cooperation whatsoever with the mayor knew anything having to do with these campaign donations. This isn't even a real case, Spiro said. This is the airline upgrade corruption case. Yeah, but that's the case we don't care about. We care about the political funding by Turkish diplomats. Adams' aide subpoenaed? Is that subpoenaed? I thought subpoenaed, the E was in a different spot. This says subpoenaed. Subpoenaed. I don't know. Ingrid Lewis Martin, a close aide to Adams who has worked with the mayor long before he was elected, received a subpoena. Right. Subpoena is subpoena. But they wrote subpoenaed. Pwned. On Friday after returning from a vacation in Japan, a source familiar with the case told CNN. Anyway, I think I only have one more article on this. I told y'all we weren't going to spend a lot of time on this. Adams' indictment threatens, from Politico, Adams' indictment threatens administration's quest to get stuff done. What are you getting done, bruh? New York is crumbling. City staff described agency work continuing space, but said the turmoil could affect policy goals. Eric Adams was planning to spend Thursday touting the city's progress getting housing built amid a shortage, right? Because you're giving it all to illegal immigrants. Instead, he was playing defense against a criminal indictment. City Hall's top technocrats attempted to get on with business as usual under the most unusual circumstances. A 57-page federal indictment. Also, technocrats does not mean that they're like Elon Musk technology nerds. It means technique. They use techniques, political techniques. It doesn't mean that they're like robot people. Just so you know. 57-page federal indictment following an early morning raid of the mayor's office official residence, all of which upended his scheduled events. And while staffers said agency work is continuing apace, some said the term apace, continuing apace. One word. Interesting word. Some said the turmoil surrounding Adams could mar administration priorities like a high-profile zoning plan slated for the city council vote this fall. Kathy Wild, president and CEO of the Partnership for New York City, emphasized the importance of this kind of focus right now. Clearly, the indictment has the potential to really damage morale, and I think our job as New Yorkers is to try and express our support and appreciation for people who are working hard and doing their jobs and are not involved in this case, Wild said in an interview. It's necessary to prove that even under the cloud of the indictment, the administration and the city as a whole can get things done. So, Eric Adams, indicted. He's indicted. What's chat saying? I'm curious as to what the corruption is. He was receiving money from Turkish royalty for his campaign. That's what they said. I think it was right before you got here. We were listening to that. It affected the election and it affected his campaign. He was receiving illegal campaign funds from Turkey. Speaking of turkey, Thanksgiving's coming up. I love Thanksgiving. I love this time of year. If you get seasonal depression, something's wrong with you. Because this is the best time of year. We got Halloween, great Christian holiday. We got Thanksgiving, great American holiday. And we got Christmas, another great Christian holiday. Not pagan. Halloween, not pagan. Christmas, not pagan. Easter, not pagan. For what, though? What did he give them? Oh, in return? I don't know. We'll have to wait. We might not ever know because they might just bury it. He's a Democrat in New York. So, this case might just get thrown out and disappear. Who knows? Speaking of cases that are going to disappear, I guess I thought they pushed back his sentencing till after the election, but maybe not. I guess he's doing something with the court case this week. We'll probably talk about it next week. The sarcasm. I like words that end in ASM. Asm. Chasm. Sarcasm. Or, no, this is a family show. We're not going to say that. Nailed it. I only release songs on Halloween. Does that mean, are you hinting at something? Are you saying you're working on some new Mr. Mad music? Yeah, your music is kind of scary, so it makes sense that you would release it on Halloween. Rocktober. I need the pumpkin spice Xanax meme. Every Halloween, we always do the pumpkin spice Xanax meme for your seasonal depression. All right. Last little bit here in the main story news before we get into the memes and stuff. Just a little preview for the debate, which is happening right now. Don't go watch it because we're going to live react to it after this show in the after party. Uncensored America is holding a live audience stage debate between Destiny and John Doyle. John Doyle always goes to these things. We've reviewed all these debates on the channel, but we're going to take a look at them here in a second. Here's his X page. John Doyle does the show on YouTube called Heck Off Commie. And I think he's the smartest. He's 23 years old, and he's been doing this since he was 18. I think he's the smartest political commentator for the right that there is. He's super conservative. He's Catholic. He's super based. He says a lot of takes that I say the same thing, and I'm like, oh, he's a show watcher. Or maybe I stole it from him because I've been watching him for so long. But I love John Doyle. I think he's my favorite. Conservative content creator. He's just not super frequent with his posts because he doesn't do streams. He does videos. And his videos, they're high IQ videos. You know, if you're low IQ, you're not going to be able to follow. You might not like it. He talks fast. He's very smart. And I think a debate between him and Destiny is going to be very good because if anybody can out fast talk Destiny and out autism Destiny on the right, it's this guy right here. And he's done multiple of these Uncensored America debates. He did one. This is his YouTube channel, 355,000 subscribers. Low number. We've reviewed a lot of his videos. We haven't looked at the Theater Kid videos yet. That was one that he came out with the other day. Really good video, the Theater Kids video. He talked about the Tenet Media thing recently because he knows Lauren Chin. But I think his best video is he has two videos. One, the right is inherently Christian. Why the right is inherently Christian, and why the left. And then another video called "Why the Left is Inherently Demonic." and he explains in depth for like an hour in each video. See the very real link between Satanism and liberalism, and then he has another one, the very real link between Christianity and the right. And he explains in depth why basically if you're on the left, you're you may not identify as a Satanist, but the left is of the devil and the right is of God. 5 implicitly right-wing Halloween movies. He has one video which is really good about why Beauty and the Beast is, or it's called Neo-Gastonian, and it's why Gaston is actually the hero of Beauty and the Beast. And the Beast is a feminine, liberal, libtard, cuck, beta boy. And Beauty, Belle, is a radical French sexual revolutionary feminist. And Gaston represents the strong, masculine, conservative man. And Gaston is actually the hero of Beauty and the Beast. But Belle is a feminist, and so she goes with the beta cuck Beast. And it's a really good video. If you haven't seen it, go to John Doyle's YouTube and look up the Neo-Gastonian video. I think it's called Gaston is the Hero. Neo-Gastonian. Gaston, the true hero. Why Beauty and the Beast is implicitly right-wing. This video right here is awesome. I love this video. We've watched it on the channel. And then look, somebody did a reaction to it. Neo-Gastonianism is a joke, literally and figuratively. John Doyle is wrong about Beauty and the Beast. No, he's not. No, he's not. I actually kind of want to watch this now and see who this guy is trying to rebuttal John. Good luck, buddy. But anyway, Uncensored America does debates like this. So he debated Hunter Avallone, I think 2 years ago. And they released it a year ago. But I think this was 2 years ago. And then this dude, Brianna Wu, a year ago. We'll just watch a few seconds of his opening statement here. But these are like real debates, not just like some internet debate. This is like a real debate.
Get a round of applause for them for doing such a fantastic job.
And to be fair to Hunter, I don't like Hunter, but Hunter did all right in this debate. I still think John destroyed him. It does get a little blood sporty at one point, and Hunter takes a shot at John, and then John goes in on Hunter, and then Hunter's like, well, you're just mad because I have a wife and kids, and I'm living the trad life while you're single and alone. That didn't age well, Hunter. That did not age very well, buddy. How you doing now?
Of course, whether America should return to traditional gender roles. I believe that...
And this was a debate on gender roles. We're just going to watch a few minutes of his opening. I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be right back.
We absolutely should, and my opponent this evening disagrees. And so for the sake of intelligent discussion, I would hope that we can avoid the sort of sophomore characterizations of these traditional gender roles as oppressive and evil, because they aren't. They're quite the opposite, actually. Contrary to the popular narratives, when America retained these roles, women were still working, they were involved in their communities, they enjoyed different hobbies and projects, they owned businesses, etc. But ultimately, both men and women understood that their ultimate purpose was to raise boys to be good men, good husbands, and good fathers, and to raise girls to be good women, good wives, and good mothers. Those who tend to sympathize with the views expressed by my opponent tend to regard those roles as not only harmful, but as socially constructed. Therefore, I believe that the crux of this debate this evening will be a difference of worldview, nature versus nurture, genetics versus environment, what our role is here on Earth, etc. With traditional gender roles, gender stereotypes, I would simply
Hey,
recall the
don't put
Supreme
racial
Court
slurs
precedents
in my
on
chat.
pornography. You know it when you see it. We're all familiar with these. The question is, where do they come from? Those who tend to sympathize with my opponent would believe that things like race, like nationality, childhood, madness, age, intelligence, beauty, that these things are all social constructs, gender roles included, that they only exist because for whatever reason we, typically white men, have decided that they should. This is, of course, not the case. Men and women are fundamentally different. Their behavior is different. Their temperament is different. And this is much more related to their biology than to their environment. Behavior is biological. Think about what gender role even means. Gender as a word containing the prefix gen, like genesis, generation, generate, meaning coming to be, followed by der, like dermatology, taxidermy, referring to skin, referring to flesh. So gender literally means your biological role in coming together and creating new flesh, creating life. Therefore, any gender role that you might have, by definition, would be your role in cultivating stable families and stable children, and by extension, stable societies.
So this is the gender roles debate with Hunter Avallone. Hunter's a dork. John destroys him. And then this is a debate also by Uncensored America with this Brianna Wu dude that looks kind of like a woman.
You were mocking me from being of average height. I can't control that. I can't control my genetics. That wasn't very... You were mocking me. I did not appreciate that.
Asking my followers if I should wear heels tonight, and I did not.
I never mocked on her appearance, and there's plenty of subject matter there, believe me, but I never did it. So I didn't appreciate that.
Got him. Got him. Her.
So today we are going to be debating the resolution, or we're going to be debating banning pornography. Specifically, the resolution is, should the U.S. government ban pornography? Now, the structured debate I'll go over very quickly, and then we'll...
So he debated this Brianna Wu character, who I think did not used to go by the name Brianna, if you catch my drift. Actually, I know it, but this was a debate about pornography. Brianna claims to be a sex-positive feminist, and John destroys Brianna on why pornography should be outright banned. And Brianna's only argument is, well, it's going to be really hard. It would be really hard to do that. And even the women in the audience come up and they're like, wait, if you're a feminist, Brianna, don't you realize all the sex trafficking that comes from pornography? Don't you realize how men who watch pornography, it messes with their brains so they don't treat women right? And they watch increasingly more and more violent and disturbing pornography as their dopamine receptors get destroyed. And all of this gets brought up in the debate. And Brianna's only argument is, but it would be hard to stop. It's still going to happen. The same argument these libertarian types and anarchist types always make. It's hard, but it's still going to happen even if we make it illegal. Shut up. It goes down. Prohibition did reduce alcohol use. It reduced all sorts of negative outcomes. Drug legalization. We watch, if you want to make a state turn blue real quick, just give them legalized marijuana. Recreational marijuana. Yes, making things illegal does reduce how much it happens. And if it goes into a back alley and starts happening in a back alley, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because guess what? Now we can concentrate our law enforcement on the back alleys. So if you make abortion illegal and they start doing back alley abortions, you make drugs illegal and they start doing drug deals in back alleys, you make pornography illegal and they start shooting illegal pornography in back alleys. Now we can focus all of our law enforcement on the back alleys. Simple. It's not difficult. Stuff like that is supposed to be done in the dark. It's supposed to be done in the back alleys. It's not supposed to be legal and just free and open so that you got kids running around in the living room while you're doing a bunch of degenerate stuff in the bedroom.
We'll jump right into it. We'll have openings.
Anyway, that's the debate with Brianna Wu. As far as Destiny goes, well, first, let me show you a clip. So this is a clip of him on Slightly Offensive repeating something that he posted on Twitter that got him banned on Twitter. He's back on X now. Timu Contra. It was some Timu Contra. Huh? That did look Meat Cannon or whatever. That did look like Timu Contra. That's funny. But before Elon owned Twitter and turned it into X and reinstated John's account, this comment got him banned on Twitter. And I kind of agree with this. If it's going to play.
Drunk driving is actually something that the elite class really fears, because what is more American than drinking, and not drinking while driving? I'm just simply saying, what is more American than drinking and then conversely utilizing the internal combustion engine to get from point A to point B? Now, you might even argue, I would never do this, but one might even argue that a true exercise in American liberty and American self-governance would be to trust oneself responsibly to consume a hypothetical amount of alcohol and then hop behind the wheel of a hypothetical vehicle and then trust oneself to be able to do that. But unfortunately, sober tards aren't capable of actually doing this responsibly, and so we all have to have the nanny state come down into our private lives and prevent us from living as we will, because certain people can't handle the responsibility of true liberty and true freedom.
Base
Tonight,
John.
Helene no longer a hurricane.
Base John. Let's go. Sober tards. And just a preview for the debate tonight. This was when Lauren Chin, Destiny, and John were all on Timcast. And it was about masculinity. They were talking about modern masculinity. And it wasn't really a debate. It was actually really friendly. I think Destiny kind of felt outnumbered because you got Lauren Chin, Tim Pool, and John, and then you got Destiny. So it stayed cordial. It stayed friendly. They talked about movies for like the last 30 minutes, but it is a good episode of the Culture Wars from Tim Pool. It's episode 20. Destiny, John Doyle, and Lauren Chin.
I don't think so, but I think lack of commitment here is defined separately from infidelity. Lack of commitment could be like, he's not bringing to the table what I thought he was, something like that. These sort of like vague reasons that are hard to define. Infidelity, I would agree with, but I mean, it does say like 75% would be lack of commitment.
I want to ask that question. What causes infidelity? Could it be sexual, desires that
there's quality. Boom. Next topic.
That's just like saying if we make all crime legal, there'll be no more crime.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen The Purge? Okay. Their world is better off for it, according to the lore. So.
Maybe if we did live in the Purge, my argument would be better about needing protection or something. But
no, because rich people would probably still buy like huge houses.
I do
with
think
50
there's something
million
to be
guns.
said because they've done cross-cultural studies, for example, where you look at like stereotypes of masculinity or femininity, and you ask all these different cultures, what they tend to seek in a potential mate. And we find that they basically hold up that men are looking for women who are young and beautiful, implying the role of the mother. Women are looking for men who are strong and ambitious and of resources, implying the role of the protector and the provider. So while it is true that yes, your need to be protected by a man is much lesser than it would have been 100 years ago, I think that biological impulse is still there, which is why we see it across cultures. And so the question becomes, how much is our society going to undo that biological impulse to seek that with how women are regarded?
Can I find on that real quick? Okay. When we cite, first of all, the marriage thing is a really good thing, right? If we say 60...
The only bad thing about John is he wears glasses. He can't see without his glasses. He needs to get some contacts. Conservatives don't wear glasses. Optometry is an op. It's a lie. You don't really need glasses, John. The world is just blurry sometimes.
60% of relationships end in infidelity, right? I know they didn't say that, but let's say 60% of relationships end in infidelity. Why did the relationship end? To say cheating, Lauren mentioned, doesn't really get to the heart of what happened, right? Because it's possible that like by the time cheating has happened, it's because the relationship has already fallen apart, right? Like I haven't seen data on this, but I would bet my life on this that you can.
All right, Destiny, we're gonna hear enough from Destiny later. But that's it. That's a little preview for the debate. It's happening right now. We're gonna watch it in the after party and react to it. He's talking about masculinity. Yeah, John Doyle is the epitome of masculinity. Duh. What are you talking about? Just because he doesn't look like a dang bodybuilder, he's Chad Maxing. He's Chad Maxing. He's a short king. I can see y'all. Why does it all have to be N-words? Consecutive need. Why am I reading this guy's comment? T-bone you down with T-bone or porterhouse. What does that even mean? All right, guys. It's good timing. Good timing. Good timing. Let's get into y'all know what time it is. Where are they? Y'all know what time it is. You ready for this? It's time for the memes. Meme review time. 2016. 2016. 2019. Wait a second. He turned into a black man. What the? Wait, what? Don't go on a diet, kids. You might turn black. Next. All right. Let's do this, chat. You guys, I like these ones. There she was, just a walking down the street singing. You guys figure it out? Do, wah, wah. Do, wah, diddy, diddy. Dumb, diddy, do. There she was, just a walking down the street singing do, wah, diddy, diddy, dumb, diddy, do. Dang. Dang. Let's go. Next. When you're sober tard, but you're still a G. Get that 40-ounce water. I'm trying to become a sober tard. That's why we have coffee. Maybe not a totally sober tard. Just not drinking 100 ounces of beer. Where's the dumb again? Kamala. This one right here. The cackling lady. That's the dumb. I know, you probably think she's a genius. She's a black queen. Next. Rosa Parks still ended up on the back of the bus, huh? Oh no, poor Rosa. Next. Hold on. Wait, I thought you said it was my B day. And he's, no, sorry, son, it's D day. It's not your B day, it's D day. I'm going to make these a little louder because I listened to a playback and they were kind of low. T-bone already in a porterhouse. I wish I was Waldo. I wish I was water. You are 75% water. That 40 ounce of water is a real hitter, though. Is that a real thing? They have 40 ounces of water. Next. U.S. presidents at the beginning and end of their term. Barack. I'm kind of. I'm looking like a bit of a zombie by the end of my term. Trump. Oh, it looks the same at the beginning and the end. Dang.
It's a man, baby.
And Biden. Wait, Biden, a rich white man, became a dumb Indian, black, Asian woman. Huh.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah.
Next. Retro games, retro video games. Halo. What? Am I old?
Beta!
Am I old now? Hold on a second. What are these retro video games? Super Mario World? That's one of my favorite games. I don't know what this one is. Halo? Zelda? Final Fantasy VII? Street Fighter? These are retro games? That means we're old, boys. Next. Mossad, your mom. Both of them are blowing up my pager. Dang. Dang. Next. Okay, stop vibrating. Stop vibrating, pager. I don't have a explosion sound. I gotta turn my air on. It's freaking hot in here. Okay. Is it working? Okay, there it goes. Okay. Masada and your mom both blowing up my pager. Next. So tobacco products on race cars will make me want to smoke, but gay storybooks and drag queens won't affect my life choices? I don't know. Something seems fishy here.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Schwanza. Happy Schwanza, everybody. You sure that's a pager? Yes, that was a pager. Yes. Next. What does Tampon Tim and an AR-15 have in common? Neither one have been on the battlefield. Dang! Yes. AR-15s are not military killing weapons. Next. This one's funny. Your disease is caused by your lifestyle. Oh, so I should change. Doctor says your disease is caused by your lifestyle. Woman says, oh, so I guess I should change my lifestyle. She says, no, not at all. Here's a pill. Just take a pill for that. We have a pill to fix your lifestyle. I mean, fix your disease. Next. Here's Kamala. She's saying, please, Donald, you have to debate me on a network of my choice with moderators that hate you. I'm begging you, Donald, please. And Donald says, fuck you, Kamala. Nope. Already did that. We're going to Fox. I guess Kamala, I guess Trump declined the CNN debate that Kamala posed. And then he posed a Fox debate. She declined that. Isn't that interesting? But people will still say that Trump lost the debate. But isn't it interesting that he agreed to a left-wing moderated debate where he had to debate with the moderators more than he had to debate with Kamala Harris, and they fact-checked him more than she fact-checked him. And now he's saying, I'm not doing another one on another left-wing network, but she won't go to a right-wing network. Wouldn't that be fair? Wouldn't that be equality? Wouldn't that be diversity, equity, and inclusion? Huh. Interesting. Next. It's such a minor point, but I cannot stop thinking that Trump casually calling the head of the Taliban Abdul is a perfect mix of his ignorance, racism, and senility in just a single word. And then this chick responds, the co-founder of the Taliban is Abdul Ghani Baradar, you emotionally stunted cluster B train wreck. His name is Abdul. His name is Abdul. Send him a page. Page him. Paging Abdul. Paging Abdul. Stop vibrating. Next. Here's Tim. I retired a command sergeant major. No, you didn't. Okay, but I carried an M16 in combat. No, you didn't. Yeah, well, it would be cool if I did. F off. F off. Next. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Freddie. I got a meme just for you. We need air support. Not this one. I'll tell you when we get to it. We need air support. And the plane flies over. You can do it. Dang. Dang, what's going on? Air support? Next. Nobody is eating your pets is the new ivermectin is a horse dewormer. Damn. Damn. That one's pretty low. Next. Also, this meme, I knew that she said Tupac. Buff said she said Snoop Dogg. I said she said Tupac. We were both right. She said Tupac and Snoop Dogg. I listened to it the other day. She said Snoop Dogg and Tupac. She said them both. Kamala Harris says she smoked weed in college while listening to Tupac and Snoop. She graduated in 1986. Snoop's first album was in 1993. Tupac's first album was in 1991. Fact check, false.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
Next. When you've ditched all your devices only to hear your toaster start ticking. Uh-oh. 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 Get rid of the toaster, Abdul. Abdul, get the rocks. Next. My neighbor tried to eat my cat, so I paged him. Oh, no. Everybody's got a pager now. Damn. Next. From the kidneys to the knee, Hezbollah will be ball free. Damn. Everybody's getting pagers. You get a pager. You get a pager. Hezbollah. You all get pagers. Next. Freddie, this meme is for you. This is for people who are too low IQ to understand prices and inflation. This meme is just for you. This is the best way that it can be explained. Since if I explain it using like economics talk and bar graphs and things like that, you're not going to get it. Maybe you'll understand this. Can someone please explain to me in crayon how inflation keeps going down, but we continue to live in the most expensive timeline of our life? So here's the answer. I used to weigh 200 pounds. In 2020, I gained 5 pounds. So that's a 3% inflation. In 2021, I gained 11 pounds. Now we're at a 6% inflation. My hand is like a bar. Imagine a bar graph, and this is the price of things, right? 3% inflation, 2 to 3% inflation is healthy. It shows a growing economy. It's a good thing. 6, 7, 8% inflation, not healthy, right? So in 2021, I gained 11 pounds. In 2022, I gained 9 pounds. In 2023, I gained 6 pounds. This year, I only gained 3 pounds. So our inflation is down. But look, we're still up here. So now my weight gain is down, but I weigh 234 pounds. Yes. Yes, and by the way, that 3% inflation, if your eggs were $1 and you have 3% inflation, by the end of the year, your eggs would be $1.03. Then you get 6% inflation. That 6% inflation is not on $1, it's on $1.03. So then you have 6% inflation. Now at the end, your eggs are $1.10. Then you have 8% inflation. That 8% inflation is not on $1, it's on $1.10. Now at the end of the year, your eggs are $1.18. Then you have 7% inflation on $1.18. By the end of the year, your eggs are $1.25. Then you get 3% inflation. Your 3% inflation doesn't mean eggs go back down to $1. You have 3% inflation on $1.25 eggs. So at the end of the year, your eggs are now $1.28. But Freddie doesn't understand basic math and basic economics. You should read Basic Economics from Thomas Sowell. He's a black man. You might like him, Freddie. And he's a very smart guy, and you will learn something. But you got to learn to read first. Next. Kamala Harris when an intruder enters her house. Wait a second. You can't put a clip into a revolver. I know, gun nuts. I know it's not a clip, it's a magazine. It's not a clip, it's a magazine. You can't put a magazine in a revolver. Poor Kamala. Poor Kamala. What's chat saying? Yes, I'll pick myself up by the bootstraps and get a third job. Yeah, and at the same time, you'll be increasing the unemployment percentage. So then Democrats can say, look at how good our unemployment numbers are. Because you have to have 3 jobs to be able to afford your groceries. Not true, JS? What's not true? What's not true? What's not true? That it's not a clip, it's a magazine? Did I say it backwards? I don't know. I'm not a gun nut. I like guns, but you know, I'm a criminal. A moon clip is a clip for a revolver. I know, we've talked about this before. I know. But this is a magazine. This is Kamala trying to put a magazine into a revolver. That doesn't work. I know what a moon clip is. We've already talked about this like a year ago. You think everyone house cost why they bought it for 30 years ago. That makes perfect sense. But you have an equity account in your body of 34 pounds. What? In 2020, I made $1,800, live check to check. In 2024, I make $7,000 and live check to check. Make this make sense. Yeah. Next. I like this shirt. This shirt was an ad that popped up on my Facebook and I saved it. It wasn't even a meme. This is a real ad of a shirt that I want to buy. It says, if at first you don't succeed, try doing what Josh told you to do the first time. Yeah. If at first you don't succeed, try doing what I told you to do the first time. I want that shirt. Next. Oh, that's my girl. For safety reasons, please stay inside until the storm passes. Floridians, catch me outside. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? That's Danielle Bergoli. I love that girl. Next. Raised by Trump. Nice looking young man wearing a suit. Looks dapper. Raised by Obama. What the? Raised by Joe Biden. What the? Raised by Kamala Harris. What the? Huh. Isn't that interesting? Hold on. Raised by Trump.
It's a man, baby.
Raised by Obama.
Beta.
Raised by Biden.
Beta.
Raised by Kamala.
Beta.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah.
Next. Americans are growing tired of our ancestors being compared to the migrants of today. Settling in an undeveloped land and building a civilization is not comparable to moving to a post-industrial nation and signing up for free welfare. Facts. If you find an undeveloped piece of land where there's a bunch of savages who are killing and eating and warring with each other, who don't even have domesticated horses, don't have a wheel, don't have any sort of tools, have no concept of trade or land ownership, you're not stealing the land from them. They don't even know what stealing means. They probably think stealing is morally... Oh! What the? Dang, Lord Spike killing it. Lord Spike, where's my shout out Lord Spike? Wait till I get my money right. Hey. Lord Spike hooking it up. I'll accept that as a birthday gift. That's going to go towards my DJI Osmo 6 and the microphone receiver. I'm going to get the Osmo 6. I have an old Osmo, but it's crap. It's breaking and it doesn't work very good and the motor's burnt out on it. I'm going to get the Osmo 6. Freddie has an Osmo 6 and I tried it out and I like it a lot. I'm going to get the Osmo 6 for my birthday and I'm going to get the DJI mic and receiver, and you put like the receiver on your belt and the mic, you clip it on your shirt, and then I can use the Osmo and I can do like, I can go out into the world and do videos, and I'm going to get the little mic attachment and I can like do interviews and stuff. So that's what I'm going to get for my birthday. So that'll go towards that. Thank you, Lord Spike. That's what's up. Stealing and killing was exceptionally common among natives. Right, but they didn't even have like a concept of what stealing was. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have laws. If you have no lawgiver, so this is like what I would tell an atheist, if you have no moral lawgiver, you can't have morality. Just like if you have no governing system and no law system, then you can't break the law. There's nothing illegal if there's no laws. So stealing and murder aren't I mean, from an outsider's perspective, it's still stealing and murdering. But to them, they have no laws. So to them, it's just a part of life. Anyway, you get the point. Next. Couples who finish each other's sentences. Oh, no. Damn.
Beta! Beta!
Speaking of Epstein and Diddy.
Murderers. Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
They murdered a guy. I bet you they murdered a guy. Next. Unborn babies disguise themselves as death row inmates so liberals will defend their right to live. Death row inmates or illegal immigrants? The babies, or, well, could be one and the same. A little, the babies just dress up like a little cholo death row inmate. And the liberals would be like, we got to protect them. We got to protect their autonomy. They have the right to live. Next. Honk if the news makes you want to modify a bulldozer. Killdozer!
It's a man, baby!
Let's go. Killdozer coming. Next. Oh, there's Doug. Hey, friend. Politicians don't love you. You shouldn't love them. It's weird and embarrassing. I'm going to disagree with this meme. Stubborn one sent me this. I'm going to disagree with this meme. In the reading this week at church, do I still call it church or do I have to call it divine liturgy? At the liturgy, during the reading, we read from Luke, and the reading was, if you only love those who love you, then it's of no gain to you. Because even the sinner loves those who love them. If you only give to those who give to you, it's no gain to you, because even the sinner will give to those who give to them. If you only forgive those who forgive you, it's no gain to you, because even the sinner will forgive those who forgive them. You have to love even your enemies. So I do love the politicians. I love Kamala. I love Joe Biden. I love Barack Obama. I even love Freddie. Because we have to love our enemies. We even have to love the degenerate scourge of the earth. So, sorry, Doug, but I disagree with you on this one. Next. Black man faces punishment for disobeying his Democrat masters. Oh, no. We've heard this story before, huh? I think we've heard this story before. The progressives are pretty regressive. Isn't that interesting? Don't stop. Get it. Luke. Which verse in Luke is that? I'm a sinner and I hate everything. Okay. The love being referred to by the meme is adoration. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's like your interpretation, man. That's my homeboy Eric. Aren't the progressives kind of regressive? We have another Democrat being punished for disobeying his Democrat masters. Huh. A black man. Thanks, Babylon B. Next. I can't afford to eat food. You know that's Russian disinformation, right? You know it's Russian disinformation that there's inflation and that you can't afford to eat food. Vote Harris Walsh 2024.
Merry Christmas, Happy Schwanza, Happy Hanukkah.
And that's it for the memes. Poo that P word. Pop that P word. Pop that P word. Pop that P word. Mr. Mad Sion disagrees. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Okay. Let's see. What was that picture in the super sticker? It's a hippo that turns into a robot. Transformer robot hippo. I like it. Okay, what's next? We got reels and we got rapid fire. Rapid fire. We have a lot of like random news stories, and then we have a little bit of political news at the end. And I have one story that I found yesterday that kind of ties into the last little bit of the show. I might finish before 9 o'clock if we can burn through this stuff. That way I can walk Echo and we can get, because I really want to get to this debate. I know Uncle Luke. I'm hip. I've been to the ice skating rink or the roller skating rink. I know about Quad City DJs and Uncle Luke and all that stuff. Tootsie Roll, you know, Choo Choo Train, you know. I know about all that Miami bass. I'm hip. Transformer Robot Hippo. That was the super sticker that Lord Spike sent. Is a transforming robot hippo. I'm serious. All right. This guy said it started to play and I paused it, so we're gonna miss first couple seconds. I don't know how to rewind it, but basically this guy says he's a comedian. He says I normally don't talk about politics on stage, so let's look at some of these funny reels. Why is oh, there we go. All right, this is pretty funny though.
Politics on stage or off stage. So I don't like talking about things I don't feel like I'm truly knowledgeable in. But I do know this. Our government is placed in charge of all of its people. I'm a father who's been placed in charge of just one son. And I lie to that nigga all the time. I don't like talking about politics.
Bass. I like that guy. Hold on one second. Let me fix this. Fix this real quick. For some reason. I didn't like the shape of that. Okay, I fixed it. He sounds like a mother. Okay, what's next? You guys remember these days? No screen peeking. This is going to make you feel a little nostalgic. He got cardboard on his kid's head. He's got cardboard on his friend's head. They got a blanket fort. A blanket fort. Kids, you play under the blanket fort. He's sitting up on the table. This is that GoldenEye. You remember screen peeking? Back when we had to play split screen shooters. You'd be like looking at your friend's screen. Pizza box for the LAN party. Use a pizza box to stop screen peeking. That's smart. They're like playing in boxes. No screen peeking. Shout outs 007. Yes, GoldenEye. Some Halo. Don't be screen peeking at me. All right, what do we got here? This is pretty funny. I might have played this one before. I feel like I played this years ago, but it popped up on my feed again. And this is so funny. The trash man's taking out the trash. It says, "My son loves to prank people." Oh, it's buffering right before the... Damn it! I don't know why these videos buffer sometimes. Ah, that was ruined. The kid's hiding in the trash bag. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's buffering. That one was ruined. But anyway, kid was hiding in the trash bag, scared the guy. That's pretty funny.
White people do that black people can't.
This is easy. When something is really funny, we are able to stay in the same place, like not go anywhere.
Why are they buffering?
What can white people do that black people can't?
This is easy. When something is really funny, we are able to stay in the same place, like not go anywhere when we laugh.
That's true. This is very true. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I gotta make sure you guys can't see. Well, it's too late now. Okay, cool. You can't see it. I didn't want you to see the name of who posted this video because it's somebody on that I know on my Facebook. But this is my neighborhood where I grew up in Florida, and this is what, minus the dirt bike, we used to do it with skimboards. We would just go skimboarding in the puddles, but this is what happens in Florida during a hurricane.
That is so funny.
Bro, you get all sorts of ringworm. You come out of there with some dang ringworm and everything. He's got a dirt bike and a boogie board in a puddle. Let's go, Florida. Florida, stand up. Okay, this is pretty funny, too. Why can't we hear it?
OBCD. You don't have OCD. You have obesity.
Bruh.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here.
Why are they all buffering? You don't have obesity. You don't have OCD. You have OBCD.
You don't have OCD. You have obesity.
Bruh.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here. Thank you.
You don't have OCD. You have OBCD.
You don't have OCD. You have obesity.
Bruh.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here. Thank you.
Epic. Epic trolling. And last but not least, OBCD. We could do this anytime it rains in my yard. So this was a kind of a meme. I don't know if I can zoom in on it so you guys can see it better. But this is, somebody took the time to put this together. I don't know if you guys can read it, but it says, finding the exact date of the day Ice Cube refers to in his classic song, Today Was a Good Day. Clue number 1, went to Short Dog's house. They was watching Yo MTV Raps. Yo MTV Raps was first aired on August 6th of 1988. Clue number 2, Ice Cube's single Today Was a Good Day was released on February 23rd of 1993. So we know the good day happened between August 6th, 1988 and February 23rd of 1993. Clue number 3, the Lakers beat the Supersonics. Dates between Yo MTV Raps air date and the release of the song where the Lakers beat the Supersonics. And it has a list of dates here. So we've narrowed it down to one of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. One of 12 days. Clue number 4, dates of those Lakers won over the Supersonics where it was a clear day with no smog. It was a clear day with no smog, and Mama cooked the breakfast with no hog, right? There was only 4 of those 12 days where it was a clear day outside with no smog. Clue number 5, I got a beep from Kim, and she can F all night. Beepers weren't adopted by mobile phone companies until the until the 90s. Dates left where mobile beepers were available to the public: January 18th, 1991, January 20th, 1992. Clue number 6, Ice Cube starred in the film Boys in the Hood that released late summer of 91, but was being filmed in the late 1990, early 91. And Ice Cube was busy on set filming the movie, and he was too busy lounging around in the street with no plans. Because when it was a good day, he didn't have any plans. He didn't have anywhere to be. So that excludes the date in 1991. He was filming a movie in 91. He wouldn't have been able to lounge around and hang out. He would have had plans. So the only day where Yo MTV Raps was on. It was a clear and smogless day. Beepers were commercially sold. The Lakers beat the Supersonics, and Ice Cube didn't have anything to do that day. Would have been January 20th of 1992. National Good Day Day. Dang! We got some internet sleuths solving the case. Let's freaking go. Okay. Let's do some rapid fire news. Some rapid fire news. We got some interesting stories. Not a whole lot here. A couple interesting stories, and then we got some politic news. Some random stories. We're gonna burn through these real quick. From Breitbart, archaeologists in France discover a 200-year-old message in a bottle. It said, "Please send help." Unfortunately, they were a little late. No, that's a joke. But they did find a 200-year-old message in a bottle. A fascinating discovery that connected a group of volunteers to a past archaeologist happened recently in the northern coast of France. The volunteer archaeologists were excavating parts of a galley site when they came upon something incredible. They found a 200-year-old message in a small bottle that gave them a glimpse in the past. The message rolled up inside the bottle read, P.J. Ferret, a native Dieppe, a member of various intellectual societies, carried out excavations here in January of 1825. He continues his investigations in this vast area known as the City of Limes or Caesar's Camp. Wow. Wow. 200-year-old message in a bottle. That's pretty neat. We used to put messages on helium balloons, tie them to the strings. I would put my phone number. And I always said, if you find this, call me. I tied it to a balloon. I want to know where you are. Never got a call. Never got a call. But apparently this message in a bottle was found. That's pretty epic, huh? I think that's pretty cool. Next rapid fire story. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got more fake panda news. More fake panda news. Japanese fans bid farewell to beloved panda pair before their return to China. So apparently, China, pandas are the most endangered animal, probably because they're not real and they're all animatronic robots. They're not even real animals. That's why they're very rare and extinct, is because they don't actually exist. China just makes robot pandas and sends them to all these countries, which they say is a gift as friendship, but we usually end up paying exorbitant amount of monies for them. We talked about this a couple months ago. San Francisco Zoo just got a pair of pandas from China. And France has a pair of pandas from China. Japan has a pair of pandas from China. But Japan is losing their Chinese panda pair because they had some malfunctions, so they have to send them back to China. China. Thousands of Japanese fans bid tearful farewell to their beloved panda couple that made their final public appearance at Tokyo's Ueno Zoo on Saturday before returning to China for medical treatment. The pair, Riri and Shinshin, are the parents of Zhang Zhang, the park-born idol that had returned home last year. More than 2,000 visitors, many wearing T-shirts and carrying, I hope they're wearing shirts, and carrying items decorated by panda motifs, queued outside the zoo for hours before the opening. Some said they camped out overnight to secure their chance. Look at these freaking, they still got like COVID barriers up. These people are crazy. Don't they know these pandas are fake? This is not a real thing. This is a freaking robotic animatronic bear. Guys, pandas aren't real. There's no reason for that color pattern on a bear. It's, what is it, half black bear, half polar bear? Was there interracial panda sex happening? We got some dang Arctic bears having sex with some dang jungle bears in China. No. These things are fake. If you've ever seen a video of a panda, you know as well as I know, these are not real. China is making fake robot bears and sending them all over the world. They're probably monitoring us, tracking us. They probably got cameras in them. And that's how they're going to infiltrate the country, is with these fake robotic pandas. Explain a zebra? Zebras aren't real either. I don't believe in zebras. Are you crazy? Unicorn's more real than a zebra. All right. That's enough of that. Enough of these fake pandas. I'm so sick of these fake Chinese surveillance pandas that they're sending all over the world. Panda Express got the new hot ones, hot bourbon chicken, though. Is it good? Is it made of cat? Next. Okay, we had a student in a stabbing was saved by a classmate from Fox 13, Tampa Bay. ASU, was that Phoenix? Is that Arizona State University? Yeah, that's in Phoenix. I've been there. I've been to that campus and sold magazines. ASU West students quick thinking likely saved classmate during stabbing incident. An ASU student was stabbed twice by a classmate on the Glendale campus, probably an illegal immigrant. A third classmate, Matthew McCormick, stepped in along with other classmates to stop the suspect. McCormick likely saved the girl's life and spoke to Fox 10 about the ordeal. She's cute. She got shanked up. Shanked up in Arizona by dang Pablo. No, I don't know. I'm just assuming. Luckily, there were others who intervened and helped the victim. Court documents tell the story of a 19-year-old student who planned an attack and chose the victim named Mara because she seemed like an easy target. Cute girl. Dang, she's shanked up. She got a dang popsicle. What up with that popsicle, though? Uh-oh. Is there a picture of the suspect? Can we see the suspect? I just want information on the suspect. Matthew McCormick saved her life. Awesome. Good job, Matthew. Good job, Matthew. Want to scream. In that moment, I didn't really have any thought going through my head. I just felt compelled to do something. Police say fellow student Casey Sloan. Casey Sloan. Okay. Maybe it's a white guy. I don't know. I wonder if there's a picture of Casey Sloan. Let's see real quick. I want to see something. Casey Sloan, ASU. 19 years old. Oh, Casey Sloan. Casey Sloan. We found Casey Sloan. Damn, Casey. Casey Sloan. Bro, if I had to go to class with that person, I would be afraid too. That looked like dang Crazy Bone. I used to have the Bone Thugs and Harmony Art of War album, and in the album art, there's a picture of all four of them standing with their shirts off. And I used to look at that picture and just think, these guys look really scary. Like, all of Bone Thugs and Harmony looks like Casey Sloan. Like, they just look like they'll like shoot you in the street. It's like, if I ever ran into this person in a dark alley, I would be afraid when I was a kid. I still love Bone Thugs and Harmony, though, but Casey Sloan, yo, you about to be alone. We ain't gonna toss you no bone, Casey Sloan. You need to get gone, Casey Sloan. Okay. Damn, Casey. Well, I was wrong. I thought it was like a Pablo Chavez type character, but looks like it was an affirmative action student. Wonder what Casey Sloan's SAT scores to get accepted at ASU were. Okay, let's stop being racist now. Busy Bone was the realest one, but also the weakest one. Right? Yeah, I agree. But Crazy was big, and like they all looked kind of scary. She's taller than Rika. Well, yeah, that's not very hard though. He will wild out, but he was the most emotional. Him coming to get him, man. Stand up to the fan and win. Hannah, how, and what's so Hannah. That's the lyrics to every Bone Thugs and Harmony song, by the way. Running up, coming up, and a murder. And but I got down up and seen up on the murder with the Glock 9 to the buck 9. It's tucking, hacking up at the head, on a pan, I just sang every Bone Thugs and Harmony song ever. Okay. This story can't be real. This can't be real. I don't know what Como News is. I don't know if this is a real valid news network. And there's really no story to go with it. It's just a headline and some pictures. But all it says is family told to change son's Skywalker name or to seek Disney's permission. So they named their son Skywalker. And I guess Disney is coming after them saying they need to fix their son's name. Because maybe they copyrighted Skywalker. Did you know the name Leonardo DiCaprio is copywritten? He's got a copyright on his name. And son of everybody. Son of everybody. It's 1999. It's 1999. Running up, coming up, summing up. Murder. Okay, enough of that. I don't know if this is real. London, a family was told to change their son's name or receive permission from Disney after a passport application was rejected. So these British people, this is in London. And there's photos. I don't know what these photos have to do with anything. A bunch of Star Wars stuff. What is the point of that? And that's the story. This is it. This is the article. Wait. There's a little more. According to the New York Post, a British military family's 7-year-old son was denied a passport because his middle name was Skywalker. Disney is somehow influencing the government enough so that passports from British families are being rejected because the kid's middle name is Skywalker. And his first name is Loki. Somebody in the comments said, wait a minute, if they can't use Skywalker for a middle name because Disney has a copyright, why were they okay with Loki as his first name? Well, probably because Loki is probably Loki is not a Disney or Marvel unique character. Loki comes from like mythology and stuff. I forget I think it's not Greek mythology, but where Thor Nordish. What am I thinking of? Nordish. Loki is an ancient like name, so they can't. Like I could make a Loki movie, I just couldn't have him be just like the Disney Loki. Right, because Loki isn't just a Marvel character. The character is based on the god from Norse mythology. I guess I should have just read this person in the comments comment before asking the question. Oh, there's more. We're not aware that this could be a potential issue. We understand that Loki's middle name is copyrighted, but we have no intention of using it for personal gain. Which is known as Star Wars Day, an homage to the hit franchise. Post reported that the family had no problems with their son's name in the first 7 years of his life. That changed when Mowbray family began making plans to visit the Dominican. So you can't go, if your name is Skywalker, you can't get a passport in England to go to the Dominican Republic because Disney has the name Skywalker copyrighted. That's wild. That's crazy. How do you get denied a passport? I don't know. And again, I don't even know how reliable this story is because I've never heard of Como News. They got a lot of ads, I know that, but that's pretty wild. One more oddity news from AP. Round them up. 8 bulls escape a Massachusetts rodeo and charge through a mall parking lot. Somebody needs to call Paul Blart. Where's Paul Blart when we need him? We got bulls running through the mall. This is no bull. First responders in a Massachusetts city had to exercise some impromptu roundup skills when 8 bulls escaped from a rodeo being held in the parking lot of the mall on Sunday. Video posted online captured the moments when the bulls escaped from the rodeo in North Attleboro. The animals charged through the crowded parking lot, knocked down fencing, bumped against a tent, and rumbled towards busy U.S. Highway 1. They eventually headed for some nearby woods for a short-lived freedom. No one was hurt during the breakout. Fire department issued a warning. These rodeo bulls weren't playing around. Community members should exercise extreme caution and do not approach any bulls. 7 of the 8 were corralled by late Sunday afternoon, but one of them was still on the lam, firefighters said. The festival rodeo this is a great article. At the Emerald Square Mall was shut down, officials said. How the bulls escaped is under investigation. Do we have video of this? I wonder if there's video on YouTube. Let me see real quick. Let me see if I can find this. I got time. The last segment's not going to take very long. Bulls escape rodeo at mall. We got it. We got the video, boys and girls. Damn! Yo! Everybody at the exit booth! Yo! Bro, all these kids, their only commentary is yo!
What is this?
Everybody at the exit booth!
That's pretty crazy, huh? Okay. Well, wrap up rapid fire. We got some political stuff. We got from NBC News. Trump is using extreme rhetoric, calls Harris mentally impaired, and says she should be prosecuted. Trump called Kamala mentally impaired. Let's watch
Department stores, same thing. They walk into you see these guys walking out with air conditioners, with refrigerators on their back. The craziest thing. And the police aren't allowed to do their job. They're told, if you do anything, you're going to lose your pension, you're going to lose your family, your house, your car. The police want to do it. The Border Patrol wants to do it. Border Patrol, they're incredible. They want to do it. They're not allowed to do it because the liberal left won't let them do it. The liberal left wants to destroy them, and they want to destroy our country. You know, if you had one day, like one real rough, nasty day with the drugstores as an example, where when they start walking out with, you know, she created something in San Francisco, $950 you're allowed to steal.
They've got calculators. There's a $9.49. Okay, no more. No more.
Anything above that, you will be prosecuted. Well, it works out that the $950 is a misnomer because you can steal whatever you want. You can go way above. But you'd see, originally you saw kids walk in with calculators. They were calculators. They didn't want to go over the $950. They're standing with calculators, adding it up. You know, these are smart people.
No, obviously they're not that smart if they can't add without a calculator.
They're not so stupid, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge, Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here.
Is this Is this even the clip?
He's a great congressman. Would you say, Mike, that if you were in charge, you would say, oh, please, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Let them rob your store. Let all these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent. The city doesn't have money. It's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately.
One rough hour. Trump saying he's going to shut that down in 1 hour. That was not the clip that has to do with the story. I hate when they do that. They have a clip that is totally irrelevant to the story. But apparently, he said Kamala should be impeached and prosecuted, and she's mentally disabled. Former President Donald Trump said at a rally here Sunday that Vice President Kamala Harris should be impeached and prosecuted for her actions related to the southern U.S. border. He argued that people were murdered because of her actions at the border, and thousands more will follow in rapid succession, adding she should be impeached and prosecuted for her actions. Trump also lobbed personal attacks at Harris on Sunday, echoing comments at his rally the day Saturday when he called Harris mentally disabled and mentally impaired. Based Trump. Okay. Let's go to California real quick. California Governor Gavin Newsom vetoes the first-in-nation AI safety bill. Vetoed the AI safety bill. I wonder why he would do something like that. California Governor Gavin Newsom, this is from CBS News. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Sunday vetoed a landmark bill aimed at establishing the first-in-the-nation safety measure for large artificial intelligence models. The decision is a major blow to efforts attempting to rein in the homegrown industry that is rapidly evolving with little oversight. The bill would have established some of the first regulations on large-scale AI models in the nation and paved the way for AI safety regulations across the country. Sounds like a good plan. Sounds like a good idea. Gavin Newsom vetoed it. I wonder why. And it's odd the Democrats, who are so obsessed with climate change, don't seem to care about all of the energy that it takes to run these AI places. AI and data processing, these data facilities are the size of football fields, and they're just giant server networks. They use huge amounts of energy, and the Democrats don't seem to care about that, but they care about your gas car and your gas stove. God forbid you have a gas car and a gas stove, but we can have an AI server plant the size of 8 football fields that uses way more energy than we could ever imagine. And then when we've tried to do an AI safety bill, California Gavin Newsom vetoes it. I wonder why. Isn't that odd? Why do I have this patch of like no hair right here? This is why I have to let the beard grow. I trim the beard and then I get this like spot right here. They care about your soul, JS. They're changing laws faster than I can change a shitty diaper. Don't come to California. Yeah. San Francisco, where the birds fly upside down because there ain't nothing worth shitting on. Yeah, the homeless people, you don't get pigeon shit on your car. You get homeless person shit on your car. Yep. Last but not least, a little local news from Utah. Utah representative proposes bill to allow 18 to 20-year-olds to openly carry firearms. Based Utah, we already have, you don't need a permit to conceal carry. You can open carry, you can conceal carry, whatever you want. And you don't have to have any sort of permit. You don't have to do any sort of classes or anything. If you have a gun, you can walk around with it, concealed, unconcealed, however you want here in Utah. And U.S. Representative proposed a bill to allow 18 to 20-year-olds to openly carry, which makes sense to me. I don't know why it's common sense gun regulation. I don't know why it's common sense to say that you have to be 21 to carry a gun, but you can go to war and carry a gun when you're 17. What's commonsensical about that? A well-armed militia. The militia is any able-bodied man, once they turn 17. It might even be 16. But I'm pretty sure it's 17. Once you're 17, if you're an able-bodied man, you are part of the militia. So I don't understand why, if the rights to a well-armed militia shall not be infringed, and where any able-bodied man at the age of 17 is part of the militia, can go to war, why do you have to be 21 to carry a gun? That's odd. But Utah's trying to fix that. Openly carry firearms in most public spaces in Utah and prevent landlords from enforcing lease agreements that bar firearms from the prison premises. The bill is being sponsored by State Rep Corinne Lesombi, Republican of Carrie Ann Lesombi, Republican of Clearfield. The House Majority Whip and was present to the legislator's Criminal Code Subcommittee on September 16th. Since that hearing, the 101-page legislation has already undergone some meaningful changes to clarify its purpose. Prompted by questions from KSL.com, Lizombi told KSL Monday that the bill began as an effort to recodify outdated or convoluted sections of the statute, but evolved into a broader effort to address gun rights in the state because some of the current regulations around firearms are contradictory and often confusing. The goal of the bill is to clarify firearm law in the state of Utah because citizens should know their rights. The process subsequently raised several policy questions, and when those policy questions came up, I attempted to align the proposed bill with legislative intent that protects Utahns in exercising their fundamental Second Amendment rights. Utah is considered a constitutional carry state, meaning residents can conceal carry without a permit, thanks to the 2021 law signed by Governor Spencer Cox. I liked Spencer Cox till I found out he's been doing some messy stuff lately, and he went anti-Trump. But still, he might be our best option, I think. I think he'll probably win again. But yeah, there's some local news, some politics news. We got another story. I didn't know whether to put it in rapid fire or to put it in this next segment. We'll just add it to the end of the next segment if I have time. If not, basically NASA is developing a robotic squid, to search the depths of Europa or the depths of the ocean for ancient aliens, is what the article said. Or at least new species, just to explore the ocean, which I've talked about before. How are we going to go to Mars? We haven't even explored the dang ocean. We can't even develop places to live on the surface of the ocean or the floor of the ocean. We can't develop domes and bubbles at the bottom of the ocean for us to live on. Like, we have 75% of the earth is covered in water. And yet we can't even explore all of that. We can't even develop ways to live down there. But we're going to go to Mars and try to live in Mars? Yeah, NASA's got a freaking robot squid to explore the oceans, which I support. I back that. Like, I'm saying, like, how we gonna go to the moon? We're trying to go to Mars, but we haven't even explored the freaking ocean fully yet. So I will just show you this article now, and it will lead us into our next segment. Speaking of oceans, NASA backs terrifying. This is from Daily Mail. Pretty reliable source. This stupid ad is getting in my way. Get out of here, ads. NASA backs terrifying robo-squid set to scour Europa's underground oceans for signs of alien life. An attendant on its back harvests power from locally changing magnetic fields. That could be dangerous. Could prove. I don't know if we're supposed to be playing around down there, though. The Leviathan's going to get this thing. Wait till this robot. Bro, that's a movie. That's a movie. Robo Squid versus the Leviathan. Right? So here's the plot. NASA makes the Robo Squid to go explore the depths. And one day it finds a cave in the Marianas Trench. And it goes down into it. And it starts going into this cave. And it's going through Tartaria. And then it gets into the underwater ocean that we're about to talk about, and it finds the Leviathan. And there's an epic battle between the robo squid and the Leviathan in Tartaria. Bro, I need to write a script. I need to copyright that. That's copyrighted. Copyrighted. It's on video. It's on the internet. I said it first. If anybody comes up with dang robo squid versus the Leviathan, I already came up with it. This is my idea. Don't be playing around with my dang idea. It's basically King Kong versus Godzilla, or like Godzilla versus like Megatron or whatever it's called. But it's underwater in tunnels in the earth. Could prove life on Europa is powered by electromagnetic energy. Liquid ocean on Europa could be 62 miles deep. NASA has unveiled a robo-squid it hopes could find alien life. The soft robot is being developed to explore underground oceans of planets like Europa. Oh, so this isn't even going to go to Earth? I thought Europa is a planet? What is it, like a moon of Jupiter? Oh, so this isn't even for Earth. This is for... They're going to send this thing to dang Jupiter to look for aliens on water planets. Europa. But anyway, check this out. So this is Europa, which is a moon of Jupiter, which they're saying has underground oceans. And they're going to send this, NASA's going to send this robot squid to go explore it and look for aliens. I don't know if it's a good idea. But speaking of underground oceans, let's move on to the last segment of the show. This has been popularized lately on TikTok. TikTokers just discovered this. Turns out TikTokers are kind of dumb, and this is not new news, but now all the news networks are like reporting on it. Like this article from the Weather Channel on the 4th of April of 2024. Reporting on this like it's new information, but we've known this for at least 10 years. I'll show you a YouTube video from 10 years ago talking about this. For the people who think it's crazy to believe in something like Tartaria or Agartha, let me preface, like I said at the beginning of the show, this is just a fun idea, and it ties into a lot of conspiracy theories. So if we look at lizard people, networks of tunnels, we've talked about all these things on different segments of the show before. We've talked about the network of tunnels below LA. We've talked about the Jewish tunnels in New York. We've talked about Metholithic dig sites where they found intricate tunnel networks under ancient civilizations, presumably to escape the flood. We've talked about Agartha. We've talked about Tartaria. It's not that the earth is hollow, but even scientists agree we don't know what's down there, and we don't know what could live down there. They used to say nothing could live past a certain depth in the ocean. Then they found these what are they called? They're like geysers. They're like super hot underwater cryoplast geysers or something like that. And they found whole biomes of organic life that lived in this stuff. So why couldn't something live in the lower mantle or the upper mantle where it's not liquid hot molten magma, but instead the pumice, the rock layers, you think of the earth like a sponge down there, like a pumice rock, where it's very porous, and there's intricate tunnels that are created when lava hardens. And so these are natural tunnels, geothermal vents, that's it. Yeah. They found organic whole biomes, organic biomes in geothermal vents. So something can live in that at extreme depths with very high pressure, extreme heat, and they found life there. why would you not assume that something couldn't be living deeper down in the earth past where we can go? And we know that the deepest they've only done, we've talked about the Malkin catacombs. We've talked about the Kola super deep borehole. Soviet Russia bored 40,000 feet deep, which is 8 or 9 miles. It's the deepest we've ever drilled. And there are many stories of these drillers and these diggers and these miners and these cavers hearing screams and hearing strange noises and seeing strange things. There's the story that was buried of the school kids who went missing in the Malkin catacombs. And then when a reporter was reporting on it, that reporter ended up dead and the story got buried. And they said nothing ever happened. And the families never found out what happened to their kids. These kids just went missing in this tunnel system, and then they closed it. It used to be open to the public, then they closed it. The reporter who was reporting on the story wound up dead, strangely, and the story got buried. The Kohler super deep borehole, they were hearing screams and strange sounds once they started digging that deep. And we're going to get into some Bible stuff too, so hold on for that. I got Amos for you. I got a verse in Amos that talks about this. And there's the story of the science crew that were going deep down into this cave, and this woman saw a pit that she looked down into, and it looked like it went for miles. And then she saw 20-foot tall beings come out of the hole, and they all ran out freaking out. So, I mean, that's a story. That's just a story, but these are credible scientists who were exploring this cave, and they left because this lady claimed she saw 20-foot beings come out of a giant pit in the earth. And the Bible mentions this pit. The Bible even talks about Jesus going down there to Sheol, to the heart of the earth. And we'll get into the Bible verses first, but before we get into all that, we're going to look at the ocean that they found more than 400 miles, between 400 and 700 miles below the Earth's surface. Massive ocean found 700 kilometers beneath Earth's surface changes what we know about the origins of water. Imagine an ocean vaster than all the water on Earth's surface combined, 3 times as much water than all the water on the surface of the Earth, which is 75% of the Earth's surface. Trump said the travelers know. Alleged Nephilim, yes. The school story is sad, freaking creepy. Yeah. Yeah, and some people will like brush this off and laugh about it. Like, you just haven't done any research. I've looked into this, and it's not just stuff I heard on the internet, and I'm just repeating from stuff I've heard on the internet. I've read books about this. There's a lot of evidence. Now we have scientific evidence that there is water reserves under the surface of the earth. Now, it's not water as we would think of it. It's actually water contained in a rock called, I think, Rimite. Well, let's just read the article, okay? This mind-boggling discovery scientists at Northwest University have unveiled, shaking our understanding of where Earth's water comes from. For years, scientists have debated the origins of Earth's water. Comets were prime suspects, delivering their icy payloads through impacts, but this new discovery throws a wrench in that theory. Researchers led by geophysicist Stephen Jacobson stumbled upon a colossal water reservoir trapped within the Earth's mantle, a scorching hot layer beneath the crust. This hidden ocean, 3 times the size of its surface counterparts, is cradled within a mineral called ringwoodite. Scientists deployed a network of 2,000 seismographs across the U.S., listening to the whispers of the Earth itself. By analyzing the faint tremors from over 500 earthquakes, they noticed a curious slowdown in the seismic waves as they passed through specific regions of the mantle. The slowdown hinted at the presence of water acting like a sponge within the rock. If you've ever seen, let me pull up a piece of pumice. Pumice floats. It's the only floating rock. So this is pumice. Pumice, also known as lava rock. You see how porous it is? It looks like a sponge. Now imagine in the mantle that these holes are bigger. This would imply a network of tunnels deep down below the Earth's crust where we can't go. We've never been there. And seismographs, seismic evidence points toward this being true. So anybody who just brushes this off like it's nothing, like it's a dumb idea and laughs about it, you don't know what you're talking about. You just haven't looked into it. Because science is on my side. Mythology and epistemology, biblical epistemology, is on my side. And fun is on my side. How about that? Fun. It's just fun, okay? It's more fun than Australia is fake. I know that. So imagine the Earth's mantle being hot pumice. And also this is when pumice completely cools down and dries. And we know it gets denser as it gets colder. So when it's hotter, these systems, this porous rock, the pores would be bigger because it would be less dense when it's hotter. The deeper you go, the more open and cavernous the tunnel system would get. Duh. Anyway, the discovery completely rewrites our understanding of Earth's water cycle. It suggests water isn't just a surface phenomenon, but to potentially exist within the mantle, migrating through cracks and crevices. Jacobson emphasizes the importance of this reservoir, stating, without this internal water source, Earth's surface would likely be a barren landscape with only mountain peaks peeking out from vast oceans. The implications are far-reaching. Scientists are now eager to gather seismic data worldwide to see if this hidden ocean is a global phenomenon. This could revolutionize our understanding of how water moves within our planet, a fundamental process shaping Earth's history and potentially influencing the existence of life. So that's from weather.com. We have a .org here. This is from this is .gov. BNL.gov newsroom. Researchers from Northwestern University and the University of New Mexico report evidence for potentially oceans worth of water deep beneath the United States. Though not in the familiar liquid form, ingredients for water abound up in the rock in Earth's mantle. The discovery may represent the planet's largest water reservoir. The presence of liquid water on the surface is what makes our blue planet habitable. The scientists have long been trying to figure out just how much water may be cycling between Earth's surface and the interior reservoirs through plate tectonics. Northwestern geophysicist Steve Jacobson and the University of New Mexico seismologist Brandon Schmidt have found deep pockets of magma located about 400 miles beneath North America, a likely signature of the presence of water at these depths. The discovery suggests water from Earth's surface can be driven to great depths by plate tectonics, eventually causing partial melting of the rocks found deep in the mantle. The findings to be published June 13th in the journal Science will add scientists to understand how Earth formed, its current composition and inner workings are, and how much water is trapped in the mantle rock. Geological processes in the Earth's surface suggest, such as earthquakes or erupting volcanoes, are an expression of what is going on inside the Earth, out of our sight, said Jacobson and co-author of the paper. I think we are finally seeing evidence for a whole Earth water cycle, which may help explain the vast amount of liquid water on the surface of our habitable planet. Scientists have been looking for missing deep water for decades. So this is the ringwoodite, unheated ringwoodite. This is the seismographs. Perovskite, and the water, this is where the water is melting. So there you go. There you go. And I'm not going to read this whole article on the show, but trust me, guys, I've already read it. And I've read a lot more than just this on this topic because this is one of my favorite things. One of my favorite theories to talk about. And it's not just this. It's not just Agartha and Tartaria. This ties into the Nephilim. This ties into mythology. This ties into a lot of different conspiracy. The lizard people, underground tunnel networks below LA, Admiral Byrd and his exploration to Antarctica, the surface passageway theory. This ties into all of that. And it ties in to a little bit of theology, a little bit of biblical epistemology. Yes, I know epistemology does not mean Bible verses. Epistemology is the foundation for your knowledge. The foundation of my knowledge is God, Christian ethics, the Bible. So biblical epistemology supports all of this. Supports the Nephilim. The Nephilim are mentioned in I think 2 places in the Bible. The giants, and the verse says that the giants were in the earth. It doesn't say on the earth, it says in the earth. So Sheol, the idea of Sheol. Sheol is at the heart of the earth. Satan was given dominion over the earth. It's hot. It's dark. That's every description we have of hell. And I know religions say hell and Sheol are 2 different things. Maybe Sheol is a physical plane, kind of like a waiting area for the damned, or purgatory. Some would call it purgatory if you're into like the Divine Comedy, Dante's Purgatorio, Dante's Inferno, or Dante's Paradiso. But whether you're Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, I don't care. This is fun. It's a fun thing to talk about. I don't know this to be true. It's just fun and it's interesting. If people don't understand that, then I don't know.
Enjoy my Arby's and peas.
Maybe do a little research, because I don't just pull this stuff out of my ass. I've been looking into this and reading about this my whole life. I don't think water or oil or minerals are finite. I think it's something constantly made. Right. Well, we've already figured that out. We've already figured out that fossil fuels have nothing to do with fossils. Oil is the lifeblood of the earth, and it's constantly being created. It's not. It is a renewable resource. The earth renews it. Water and the oil, all that, I think it's made in the earth, not just there for these other stupid reasons. Exactly, Matthew. I agree. Some people believe that oil is actually from dead people. And this is, I don't know what I think about this, but imagine when we're pulled down, we're buried in the earth, right? And then we're pulled down to the depths of Sheol. And it's like, have you seen Lord of the Rings? Where they're like, they have the tunnels deep down in the ground, and they're making the orcs out of that black liquid that's like oil, like tar, and the orcs are being birthed out of it. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that idea, is that the people die and that their bodies turn into the oil. Just a theory. A life dedication. Giants are inside the earth. How you explain my... Oh my gosh, shut up. You're so stupid. You're so dumb, Daddy Jub. Let's watch this video. This is a video from 10 years ago.
Hello, eager learners. Welcome to SourceFed. I'm Joe Beretta. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and numbers, oceans cover 71% of the Earth's surface and are made up of 97% of the planet's water. Whoa, that's a lot of water. Now, imagine some guy saunters up to you and says, "Hey guy, did you know that there's an underground ocean here on Earth 3 times as big as all the other oceans?"
Oh, he's just a stupid, crazy conspiracy theorist. Shut up.
Combined, you'd probably say something like, "Get away from me, crazy guy. I'm trying to enjoy my Arby's in peace." Well, guess what? That guy's not crazy. He's a legit geophysicist slinging knowledge. You've got horsey sauce on your face. That's right. A group of scientists believe they've discovered a massive reservoir of water 440 miles deep down below the surface of the Earth that might just provide a little more insight as to where all of Earth's splishy origin.
This is 10 years ago, right? They've been looking into this for decades. This is nothing new. TikTokers are just now finding out about it, which is why it's kind of being brought to light.
Contrary to what you're probably thinking right now, they didn't drill down and Aaron Eckert their way to this discovery. That's a core reference. And there isn't an actual ocean down there. At least not oceans as we know them. Atlantic, Pacific, Arctic, Indian, Southern.
Southern. You see, he just said Southern. So, just so you know, we've talked about this before. The Southern Ocean was added for all of us old people in chat. Maybe Daddy Jub knows about the Southern Ocean. But for all of us old folks in the chat, we're probably like, what the hell is the Southern Ocean? There's 4 oceans: Indian, Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic. Well, now there's a 5th ocean, the Southern Ocean. And they added the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the same group that found this underwater ocean. And this is not the underground ocean. But this is basically they just like took some of the space away from like the Arctic and the Indian Oceans, and they made the Southern Ocean now. Now we have 5 oceans instead of 4. And 6 if you count this underground ocean. When I was a kid, we only had 4 oceans. As of, well, they figured this out in 1999, and it became officially recognized on June 8th of 2021. So now schools teach kids that there are 5 oceans, not 4. Just in case you're wondering, all the old heads are like, wait, I thought there was, what's the Southern Ocean? Anyway.
I fucking hate that kid. Utilizing 2000.
Yeah, B-Wise, we're all dang older than a dang ocean. 2021, most people are older than the Southern Ocean. I'm older than an ocean. God made me, and then he made the Southern Ocean.
Seismometers, geophysicists measured waves generated by earthquakes, and the readings pointed to the existence of a bunch of saturated rock in Earth's transition zone right under the United States. This saturated rock is known as ringwoodite, which is this kick-ass sponge-like mineral that attracts hydrogen and ensnares it, holding water hostage in its molecular structure. Geophysicist Steve Jacobson said, "The ringwoodite is like a sponge soaking up water. There is something very special."
A sponge. And what do sponges have? Tunnels.
About the crystal structure of ringwoodite that allows it to attract hydrogen and trap water. This mineral can contain a lot of water under conditions of the deep mantle. If just 1% of the weight of mantle rock located in the transition zone is H2O, that would be equivalent to nearly 3 times the amount of water in our oceans. Totes interesting, right? Even more totes interesting.
That's if just 1% of the mantle has this ringwoodite water. That's 3 times the amount. Now imagine if it's a higher percent.
Interesting is that if the water truly does exist, it might suggest that Earth's water came.
And this is why I've said to people before that I believe that Sheol is a physical realm at the heart of the earth, which is what the Bible says. And they're like, well, there wouldn't be enough room. What do you mean there wouldn't be enough room? The surface of the earth is like 0.001% of the earth. There would be vastly more room if there was a network of tunnels. And we're not even talking about the core of the earth. We're talking about the lower mantle and the upper mantle. If there were networks of tunnels throughout the lower and the upper mantle, and it gets progressively hotter as you go deeper, there's plenty of space for every person that's ever been condemned to Sheol or hell for the history of the world 20 times over.
From within through some sort of massive Earth water cycle instead of by icy comet way back when the Earth was an impressionable youth. Good! We don't want your alien water! Earl, what are you doing? Quiet, woman! I'm shooting science! Now, of course, they're just playing with theories right now, but a piece of ringwoodite, actually the only piece of ringwoodite from deep inside the Earth that we have our grubby human hands on, that traveled up via volcanic eruption in Brazil, throws a little bit of support behind this theory, which is pretty cool. No, it ain't, because there ain't no such thing as water rocks!
Now remember, he's saying this theory, it's just a theory right now. Remember, This video is 10 years old. The paper is coming out. We have evidence. It's been verified. So
Get your godless minerals and get out of here! Get! What was that?
SourceFed. I've never seen a video from that channel before, but check them out. They don't need my help. They have 1.5 million subscribers. Okay, so the last little thing before we wrap up here, we talked about the Robo Squid. Ground penetrating radar can reach only 100 feet below Earth, but seismic waves can go as deep as 250 to 410 miles deep. They can monitor, and that's how we found this water 400 miles deep. Deepest hole ever drilled is the Kola super deep borehole in Russia, which was 9 miles deep. But last but not least, we're going to do some Bible thumping. So we're going to bring in the mythology and the epistemology here. We got the science, right? We got the science. We did the mythology and the stories and the tales. Whether you believe them or not, there's a lot of them throughout history, modern to ancient. We've talked about archaeology with Metholithic dig sites. So we have archaeology, we have science, geology, we have mythology, ancient to modern. Now we have some epistemology. Seems like I have a valid argument for the stuff that I talk about. Huh. Ready for a rebuttal? JS sent you something interesting on Discord. Is it related to this? If a fish is out of the water, it drowns in the open air. If a human is in water, it drowns and dies just the same. Amazing. So first, Isaiah 14 talks about the fall of Lucifer, who was the most beautiful angel. His wings actually covered the throne of God. His pride led to his fall. Isaiah 14:15, God cast him out of heaven. Isaiah 14:15 says, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit." Thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And where was hell? Where was Satan brought to? Earth. To the earth. To the physical realm. To the ground. Where were the Nephilim? In the earth. Let's look at some verses here. We have a whole long list of verses, but I'm going to focus on from the Old Testament. We're going to look at Genesis 37:35, Proverbs 15:24, Isaiah 51:16, Ezekiel 31:16, Isaiah 14:15 we just looked at, and my favorite, Amos 9:2. There's a lot of good stuff in Amos, by the way. And then in the New Testament, we'll take a look at Matthew 12:40 and Ephesians 4:9. So, first, no particular order here. I have to scroll through this and find all these verses. Well, you also have Genesis 1:6-8. God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." In Genesis, it talks about darkness being over the face of the waters. Isaiah 14:15, "But you are brought down to Sheol, to the far reaches of the pit." That's talking about when Lucifer was cast down to Sheol or hell. I believe they're the same thing. Different people would disagree with that, and I'm fine with that disagreement. I don't know for sure whether Sheol and hell are two different places. I think that they're the same. But let's see. Proverbs 15:24. "The path of life leads upward for the prudent, that he may turn away from Sheol beneath." Upward is the heavens. Beneath us is Sheol, the depths. Okay. Isaiah 51:16. Where did it go? I just saw it. Is it 51:6 or 51:16? This would probably be faster if I just type these in. Might be Isaiah 51:6. Lift up your eyes to the heavens and look at the earth beneath. For the heavens vanish like smoke, the earth will wear out like a garment, and they who dwell in it will die in like manner. But my salvation will be forever, and my righteousness will be dismayed. Those who dwell in the earth, not on the earth, in the earth. Okay? Genesis 37:35. All his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted and said, No, I shall go down to Sheol to my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. His son went to Sheol. I think that was Genesis 37. Is this the Cain and Abel story? No, I'm not sure. I can't remember. We could read the whole chapter, but I got to get through this. I got to get through this. Gotta make it. What else? We did Isaiah 14:15, Isaiah 15:16, Proverbs, Ezekiel 31:16. Ezekiel 31:16. Let me just type it in, because this thing has like 1,000 verses, and some of them are not. Totally irrelevant. They're kind of like long shots, so I'm trying to pick the best ones. Because it's just openbible.info, and basically you could type in what does the Bible say about, and I put in hollow earth. But some of these verses, like anytime the word hollow is mentioned, they're going to give me the verse. So there's like 100 verses here. Some of them are completely irrelevant. Like, so this one, Exodus 38:7. And he put the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar to carry it with them. He made it hollow with boards. So that's talking about the Ark of the Covenant. But since it has the word hollow in it, they're recommending it as a possible verse. So that's why I'm saying some of these verses are irrelevant for what we're talking about. But Ezekiel 31:16 says, I made the nations to shake at the sound of his fall, when I cast him down to hell with them that descend into the pit. And all the trees of Eden, the choice and the best of Lebanon, all that drink water, shall be comforted in the nether parts of the earth. Interesting. And then last but not least, one of my favorites, I talk about this verse a lot, Amos 9:2. Amos 9:2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall be mine hand take them. So other translations, it's saying, if you dig towards hell, if you dig too deep, my hand will pull you down into hell. That's where you'll be buried. You try to dig down, you try to tunnel into the earth, you're going to find things you're not supposed to find, and that's where I will pull you down into hell. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And, you could say I'm doing, kind of a modernization of this, and maybe I'm mistranslating it, but I've read all of Amos. I've read all of the Bible, and I'm not mistranslating it. It's saying, just like with the Tower of Babel, they were trying to climb up into heaven. If you make if you extrapolate that out to now, space travel. You try to reach up into the heavens. You try to go to Mars. You're trying to go to space. Guess what? I'm going to turn you into the Challenger rocket. It's not going to turn out good for you. You try to get up into the heavens, I'm going to pull you back down to earth and crush you. You try to dig down into the depths, then I'm going to pull you down into Sheol. You're going to be buried there. That's God telling us Don't try to get to heaven. Don't try to go up into the heavens. And don't try to dig down into Sheol. It's not a good idea. So that's Amos 9:2. Now a little bit of New Testament. We've talked about these verses before. Matthew 12:40. Matthew 12:40. This is when Jesus goes to Sheol for 3 days after he's crucified. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. So when Jesus was crucified, he went down to the heart of the earth to deal with Satan in Sheol. The heart of the earth. He went down into the heart of the earth. Now, some people have argued that this is talking about Jerusalem being the heart of the earth, and that for 3 days and 3 nights, I guess what are they saying? That for 3 nights and 3 days and 3 nights, he went to fight Satan in Jerusalem? That don't make no sense. No, I think it means what it says it means. For 3 days and 3 nights, he went down to the heart of the earth, to Sheol, to deal with Satan. That's Matthew 12:40. And just like the belly of the whale, it also talks about Sheol and the pit in Jonah. It compares the belly of the whale to a prison like hell, like Sheol, like the pits of Sheol, darkness, dank, dark, gnashing of teeth. So I got issues mentally and physically. Oh God, it doesn't matter about hell or Sheol. Okay, Dean, whatever. You're the scholarly source for biblical wisdom. Ephesians 4:9. Last but not least, this is Paul writing to the church of Ephesus, or the church of Ephesus, right? The Ephesians. Ephesians, what is it? 4:9. It's weird that they would put all this stuff in the Bible if it's unimportant to know about, Dean. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? Hey, did I just get a Cashapp? But I'm crazy, you know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Whoa! What the? Who sent this? Hold on. How do I see who sent this? Yo! For your DJ on Paul Moses 6, whatever that is. What? DJ? No. DJI Osmo 6. DJ. Hey, shout out Mr. Mad with the big old Cash App.
Wait till I get my money right.
I'll show you. This is the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. So it's a gimbal stabilizer for your phone. And I have the old, like, first DJI Osmo, and I love it. But mine is old and broken. And this is the Osmo Mobile 6. And it's way better. It's like, it's so nice. And it's 140 bucks. And so I pretty much got the money almost for it. Well, I have 40 bucks, but just off of the stream tonight, we pretty much made enough. It comes with a little tripod. This magnet goes on your phone, and then you pop the magnet onto the device, and it's a gimbal stabilizer for your phone. So you hold it, and I have videos on my YouTube shot with the old one. All those time lapses that I do, it does. Can you guys even see what I'm showing you right now? No, you can't. I'm sorry. My bad. This is it. So it's the stabilizer gimbal, but it's cool. It's got all these comes with the app, and it's got all these features. So like if you ever watch my camping videos where there's like motion time lapses, so you can hold it and you can walk around and be recording, and it will make it into a time lapse, or you can set it up and on your phone you hit frames. You do like a frame here, and then you turn it a little bit, and you do a frame here. You turn it a little bit, you do a frame here, and you turn it a little bit, and you do a frame here, and then you set all the settings, and then you hit start, and it goes, and then it starts a time lapse, and it slowly moves your phone to those places that you input into it. And then when it's done, and you can just walk away and let it go, and it'll record a time lapse. When it's done, you have like a panoramic motion time lapse. It has active tracking. So like, see this green square on the computer here on this girl's face? You guys can't really see it, but I could, and also it goes to an iWatch, but I don't think Apple Watches work with Samsung. But basically, you draw a square on the screen, and then you stand in that square, and so whatever's in that square, it tracks. And then so I can walk around and it will follow me. It follows you wherever you go. So there's like some of my camping videos, you'll see shots where I'm walking down the path and the camera is following me as I'm walking down the path. But there's no cameraman. I don't have a cameraman. So I can do stuff like that by myself. I can have shots where like it's like a low shot and it follows me as I'm walking by without having a cameraman. You set it up, and then you stand in the square, and then it tracks you wherever you go. It'll do facial tracking. So if I'm doing like an IRL stream and I'm moving around, it'll follow my face wherever my face goes. The gimbal has a motor in it, and the gimbal will rotate the camera to follow me wherever I go. And yeah, so this is what I'm going to get for my birthday. But shout out Mr. Mad. Thank you. Hell yeah. Anyway, that's it for the show pretty much. This last verse. This was the last one. This is Ephesians. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? So we've got Old Testament, we've got New Testament. We've got archaeology. We've got ancient mythology. We've got modern mythology and modern stories from valid sources, except for the ones that ended up murdered when they talked about it. And we've got geology and science and seismology, all supporting this crazy idea, this crazy conspiracy theory that people came up with. I have a telescope with that action. Nice. Oh, well, we're not worried about going to hell. I just like talking about dang tunnels. And I do think the dang Nephilim are down there. And the demons. Dragons, I don't know. Dragons are probably just flying dinosaurs that could blow fire, and they're probably extinct. Just like the behemoth. The behemoth is probably extinct. I don't think that there's brontosauruses living in Tartaria. It's possible, but probably too hot down there. I think they're just extinct. The behemoth extinct. The dragon's extinct. Unicorns, they're extinct. But I do believe that, well, I believe it. I don't know it. I believe it. Just like people believe science and evolution, but they don't know it. Because it's actually pseudoscience. It's not real science. It's not testable. It's not observable, testable, and demonstrable. Therefore, it's not real science. It's pseudoscience to say evolution and we know what's at the center of the earth. We don't. Just like you don't know, I don't know, but I believe things Just like scientists and atheists have faith in evolution and what they think is at the center of the earth and what they think is in space, I have my faith. And I think mine is right. And I do believe that there are still demons and Nephilim in the earth, in Sheol, which is the heart of the earth. And they were cast down there. They were taken from the surface of the earth during the flood. They used to roam the earth pre-flood, and now they've retreated to their tunnels beneath the earth, and we found evidence of these tunnels. We haven't really found evidence of Nephilim other than writings and stories. I know they say they found some giant bones. We've talked about that before, but those have been pretty much proven to be fake. But as far as the Leviathan, I do think the Leviathan is still in the depths. And if we get a robot squid to go explore the depths, I don't know why they're trying to send this robot squid to freaking Europa to look for aliens. Why don't you just send the robot squid down to the oceans on Earth? We haven't even explored all of the Earth's oceans. Send that robot squid down to the Marianas Trench. I bet you it gets in a dang fight with Leviathan. Because the Leviathan's not extinct. It's still down there. It's still down there. It is the face on the waters. It is the beast of the depths. So, you don't want to play with the Leviathan. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that, guys. That's it for the show. I gotta walk my dog. Belief is something you are taught is true. Faith is knowing something is true. Yeah, right. Yeah, I believe the stuff I'm saying, but I don't know it to be true. I know that God is real. I have faith in God because I know God is real. But I don't know for sure that Sheol is a physical place in the earth and that there's tunnel systems and demons and Nephilim down there. I just think it's fun. It's interesting. It's fun. And I believe it, but I don't know it. I concur, but dinosaurs didn't help build the pyramids. Come on now, Lord Spike. You're so based. You're so based. You can agree with me on all this other stuff, but you can't agree that they put a harness on a behemoth and had him drag some freaking rocks. Come on, man. We'll get you there. We'll get you there eventually. I know you've been watching the show for years. I'm slowly getting you there. One day you're going to agree that it's the behemoth. It's called the King of Man in Job. They called it the King of Man. Why would they call it the King of Man? Where did all the grass go in the Nile region? The freaking behemoth ate it all. And the behemoth is a brontosaurus. And they just put a yoke on it and it drags some rocks. Not that hard. Come on, guys. All right. Guys. Where's my music? This music. Guys. Bum. Bum, bum. Bum. This has been the Dreaded Conservative Show. Monday night, kicking the week off right. The world's a crazy place. I just report on it. I'm going to walk my dog. Grab a little six-pack of brews. And we are going to be streaming again in just a little bit. Watch for the thumbnail for the after party. We're going to watch this debate. We're going to react to this debate. I'll open the Discord and play it in the Discord if you guys want. But you're going to have to... We're going to be watching the debate. So you're going to have to not talk over it. Or tell me to pause every now and then if you want to say something. But we will be reviewing the debate in about 30 minutes. So check back on the channel in 20 to 30 minutes. and we will be back. We'll review the debate. After the debate, we'll do a panel for a little while, and then later tonight, I'll probably end the panel kind of early. And later tonight, we'll stop that stream, and I'll start a new Resident Evil 7 stream, and we're going to play some Resident Evil 7 tonight. So, lots of stuff planned. We'll get into it. Check back in about 20 minutes for the thumbnail. Show will be back in about 30 minutes. So, God bless everybody. Thank you for the super chats, Lord's Bike, Mr. Mad. Heck yeah. And